What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Who's ready to start another trading day? Of course, on today's show, we'll take a look at what's going on in the earnings, the disappointment that's happening right now. We'll talk a little bit about how Enphase is up, yet missed on revenues, missed on guidance. And of course, first up, we'll get into the playbook as we take a look at potentially shorting some regional bank action. Stay tuned, guys. Let's kick it off with today's playbook. All right, first up, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about gold, and I love gold indeed, guys. Whenever there's uncertainty, of course, this is the play that a lot of traders look at. So on a day like today, yes, I can clearly see gold starting to make a move. Let's take a look at the chart. And of course, I always take a look at this really early on, guys. I normally am determining this around 7 to 6 a.m. So you guys can see we're already starting to get a little lift. So we'll be looking for a little pullback. But this has caught the 9 EMA pullback in the last couple of days, Friday and Monday. Now Tuesday started to get going. So we were looking to see if gold would get hot again. Now looking good for a run back towards this 1938. We'll look to see if we can clear that going towards the 2220 area. As you take a look at the weekly, take a look where the next resistance are. There's a lot of resistance up towards 975 and 2022. Somewhere in between there, I feel like we're going to get this nice run in gold. So keep your eyes on this move. We'll find out what happens. Let's kick it off with the second one in the playbook. That's going to be XRT. As I start to take a well, it's not XRT, it's KRE. I don't know why I messed up on that one, guys. I'm sorry. I got to fix that. But definitely going to take a look to see what happened there. I'm looking at the KRE, the regional bank action. We'll take a look at that action here. Let's go towards the report and see what we see here. But like always, guys, one of the things that I'm calling out here is that I think that, of course, we saw the financials kind of take a hit, right? Now we need to take a look to see if the other area in the financials takes a hit, right? The major banks took the hit. So now I'm starting to see, well, hey, can it be that we get KRE to start taking a hit? And this has been really strong. So it's definitely a turnaround look. But what do I see here on the daily? I see here a one attempt to go up, a pullback, second attempt to go up, a pullback, third attempt to go up, a pullback, fourth, and it's trying to make a breakout above this, but I think we're going to get a nice little pop and fail on this. So it could pop today, maybe towards the hourly high, towards 58.11, maybe even getting up there towards 58.30s. But after that, I'm going to look for this to really come crashing down. And this is the KRE that has made a huge run since pretty much the 8th. I'm looking for this to start to break here. We'll see what happens on the KRE regional bank action and definitely take a look at that downside. We'll see what happens in this one, but definitely on the playbook today. Let's kick it off with the third play here, which is going to be run. Run is definitely something to keep your eyes open for, as I've been taking a look to see what happens in solar. Right around this time, we have a tendency of getting a nice little move in solar, whether it be seasonality, whether it just be because energy has also a seasonal move during this time. We'll see what happens on this one, right? Run has been kind of going sideways here, so I'm going to start taking a look to see if it can get a nice little push. On the daily, you can see the 9 EMA pullback towards 1663, so that's definitely in play today. But looking for it to take out the highs here at the 1805, 1807. And of course, we'll take a look at Enphase and different solar stocks. Of course, you guys know I've been talking about solar stocks with FSLR, and that's been doing well since that day, and it's been going sideways here. Now I'm going to look for FSLR to continue going through the 226. That can give us a good sign that run wants to continue that run, pun intended. We'll see what happens. We'll talk a little bit more about this with Enphase coming up. So let's keep it rolling here, guys. That's going to be the playbook, like always, strategic outlook that gives you guys a look into the market and a strategic play, whether it be psychology coming into here, whether it be a pattern that I see. Like always, guys, trying to give you guys 3 plays every single day so that you guys develop your own playbook also. That's what it's all about. So let me know what's on your playbook today. Throw it up in the chat and let's keep going, guys. Let's get you guys over now to, of course, the Sunrise Report, where we really give you guys the value. And we got a lot to talk about with Tesla and Google, of course. Let's get to that action. All right, team, let's kick it off here. And the first up, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Tesla as Tesla shares fall here more than 8% in the pre-market after the electric car maker missed the second quarter earnings expectation. Automotive revenues dropped 7% year over year to 19.9 billion. Its adjusted earning margin also taking a hit. Tesla has been cutting prices and offering discounts globally amid the slowing sales and rising competition, particularly in China, right? Having a big struggle. But on the conference call, Elon Musk trying to clear up the uncertainty, and he's calling out all the bears out there, right? Elon Musk saying a clear message. If you believe in Tesla that they'll solve vehicle autonomy, buy Tesla's stock. If not, sell it. So all other questions are noise, and there you guys see it. This is exactly what I've been talking about here on, of course, Trade to Pull Live. I've been talking about what? Tesla is no longer viewed right now as the vehicle stock. They're viewing it back as a technology stock, as an AI stock, robotic stock, and of course, autonomy. So those are the things that are really going to drive this stock if it wants to continue going. And of course, we were looking for the Robo-Taxi Day event, right? But this is still getting pushed back. We don't have an exact date. We don't know exactly if they're going to be able to present in a good presentation here. So in this case, a lot of questions here for Tesla, and we got a lot of concerns. And the price action this morning proving a lot of those uncertainties. And it could be that the trade is done. We'll take a look at that action during the market. Let's keep going. Let's get to the second one here as we move on to Alphabet. Of course, Google's parent company, they reported second quarter earnings results that were in line here. So we need to take a look at what's going on, because if it's in line, why is it dropping? Well, this fell short, of course, when it comes to YouTube advertising revenue. If you guys caught my earnings stream last night, this is exactly what I pointed to quickly as I was taking an assessment of the earnings. Shares dipped 2% in after hours. Earnings came in at $1.89 per share versus the expected $1.84. Revenues hitting $84.74 billion compared to the forecasted $84.19 billion. YouTube ad revenue was a bit of a letdown at 8.66 versus the 8.93 billion expected. While Google Cloud did exceed, that's one thing that we did see, at least it exceeded the expectations of 10.35. So Google Cloud was higher. Overall, it wasn't the worst report, but the YouTube ad revenue is what they're going to point to as why the leak came in. I think it's more about that the expectations and the bar were so high for these stocks to continue just ripping it and ripping it. The growth needed to be there, and that's exactly what was not there. We didn't see that extreme growth to keep this bar going higher and higher. All right, guys, next up, let's get over to a big stock that we want to talk about today. And we just talked about it with Run, right? Enphase Energy. Despite missing Q2 earnings here, guidance estimates also, their shares are trading higher by strong Q3 booking. They reported a Q2 adjusted earnings of 43 cents per share, missing the 48-cent estimate, sales of 303.46 million, falling short of the 309.69 million estimate. Looking ahead, Enphase projects Q3 revenues between 370 and 410 on the high end, compared to, of course, a 404 estimate. So they're giving reasons to stay optimistic here. Of course, solar stocks, I'm going to be looking to see if they start to take off. So who's out there on their roof adding some solar panels? We'll see what happens. But I'll tell you one thing. I think that we might get this nice seasonal run. This report was really kind of the one that I felt we could run into a wall and kind of get hit. So now that we're through that end phase, let's see if First Solar really starts to take off. Let's see if Run takes off and if ENPH can continue the strength from the report. We'll see what happens here. Let's keep it moving. Let's get to the next one. We're going to go to AT&T. Shifting over to telecom, AT&T reported Q2 results that were mixed but showed strong subscriber growth. So if you're wondering why AT&T is doing well here, it's for their unlimited, their high plan. They adjusted EPS met the expectations of 57 cents, while sales were slightly missing the 29.8 billion versus a 29.9 billion forecast. They impressively added 419,000 monthly bill paying wireless phone subscribers that far exceeded the 284,800 expectation. The company is projecting fiscal year 24 wireless service revenues growth of 3% range and a broadband revenue growth of 7%. So not looking too bad here on AT&T. And maybe they can survive for a little bit longer, right? I think that AT&T is surviving. It's not a company that I'd be jumping to grab, but as you can see, they're still being able to add their subscriber growth and some of their revenue there coming in unexpected. And of course, it was a big beat right there. It was around the 200 and you got towards the 400. So almost kind of like 100% beat there. So keep your eyes on that action. We'll see what happens. Let's go towards the next one here as we keep it moving, guys. Let's go to Visa here as they reported mixed Q3 results. So the Q3 results here with earnings meeting the expectations of $2.42 per share, but sales falling just short of the $8.9 billion versus the $8.92 billion estimate. They did declare a 52-cent dividend. There was a slight slowdown in payment volume growth, which is causing some concern. Of course, we've seen the financials start to take a turn. So I think this also plays into here that it's just the time where the bar was set too high, and now you're seeing the financials come down. So Visa, MasterCard, all names that could see continued downside. PayPal, Square, I don't feel good about any of these, and they could keep getting that downside hit. Last one on at least the headlines reports, then we'll get to the analyst action. Let's talk a little bit about Nextera Energy. Of course, I've been taking a look to see what would happen with this one. It did miss both on earnings and sales estimate for Q2. Adjusted EPS of 96 cents versus the estimate of 98 cents, sales of 6.06 versus the expected 7.47 billion. So pretty decent miss there. However, they did reaffirm their long-term financial expectations, projecting an adjusted earnings per share to be in the range of $3.23 to $3.43 in 2024, expecting that continued dividend growth at roughly 10% per year through at least 2026. So that's something definitely to keep your eyes open for. Nextera Energy really wasn't the worst report. Definitely a miss there on the kind of the headline numbers. But let's see how it reacts in the open market. I'll be watching it. Of course, NEE is your ticker. And we've been looking at this space because it's in the utilities. Will this continue to get the lift? Of course, these are getting the lift from the interest rate sensitive type of stocks. We'll keep an eye out for that. Let's move into the ratings action, guys, with the Sunrise Report. Hope you guys are enjoying our Sunrise Report, where we give you guys some quick headlines and why these stocks are moving. In the rating news, we got some great upgrades. Goldman Sachs stepping up to the plate and upgrading Madison Square Garden to buy and raising the price target to 45. I wonder what you guys think out there about this Madison Square Garden buy. I mean, I guess this is the time to buy it. I think they're a little late to the party, but of course we know how analysts love to be a little bit late, right? So we'll see what happens if this starts to kind of give a little bit of some topping action. But of course that price target of 45, something to look for. TD Cowen upgrading Lockheed Martin to a buy, also with a new price target of 560. I wonder if this has to do with their outlook on maybe the next presidential candidate, right? If Trump comes back, would he go back into spending on Lockheed Martin? I don't know. I don't necessarily think that that's the move that he would like to do. But hey, keep your eyes. We'll see what happens. Lockheed Martin to a buy, something definitely to keep an eyes open for, right? When we see upgrades, the biggest one that we want to see is to a buy, right? That's like the highest that they can give it. So these two, definitely something to keep your eyes open for. Let's go to the last two I want to bring up here as Goldman Sachs also upgrades Spotify to a buy, setting their price target to 425. So that's something definitely to look at. Of course, we saw Spotify yesterday get the lift with their earnings and their monthly active users continuing to grow. So as long as that can continue to grow, they're seeing the price target at 425. Keep your eyes open for that rise. And let me know, guys. Do you guys use Spotify to listen to your music? I know I don't, but hey, a lot of people out there do. So let me know in the chat if you guys agree with that. Deutsche Bank upgrading Invitation Homes to buy and raising the price target to 41. Something definitely to take a look at is the home builders. I feel they're just pushing, and they're going to push on this gas pedal as much as possible. Why? Because they need to get as much money and milk this market before there's an actual housing collapse. I still think there's some issues out there, and if interest rates stay this high, you've been seeing it out there. There's now concerns that there's actually new built homes. Is the supply is actually increasing so much that the amount to sell that home, right? They always calculate a day's, like if I built this house today, how long am I going to take to sell it, right? Well, it's actually increasing there. And I know that a lot of people think we have undersupply, but in the new construction area, we're starting to see oversupply. I'm going to continue watching that. And I'm going to watch these analyst upgrades, Invitation Homes, definitely one to watch there. That's going to do it for the analyst rating today and our sunrise report. Like always, guys, you guys can catch this in the morning. We also put this out on Twitter. So if you guys are not catching this on X, check it out, guys. And of course, in our Discord daily. And check out the playbook always and the sunrise report. Check it out, guys. If you're not following us on social media, you're missing out every morning as we give you guys this early and then go through it during the show. All right, guys, let's get to the action now. Let's kick it off. Let's go to the live trading action. I got a lot to take a look at. Going to be taking a big shot on a swing trade, guys. Come and find out what that swing trade is. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here. It's time to kick off live trading. What up out there, traders? Let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about the swing trading life. We'll get into that action. We'll, of course, take a look at what else is moving in the market. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, let me know in the chat. It's great to see you guys this morning. What's up out there, Pear? You looking at Rivian? We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that action. Jack out there, Boogie Woogie. What's up, man? Vic, good morning to you all, guys. You guys out there, smash the like. Let's get some more traders on here. We got to get some more traders in here, guys. Do me the favor, guys. Smash that like. Let's keep it going. Definitely need to kind of get some more traders in here. I'm disappointed, guys. There should be some more traders in here already. But hey, what I'll do is keep battling, guys. Keep trying to bring you guys the value every single morning. So let me know if there's something that you guys feel we need to make an improvement on. Like always, I'm trying to make the show better. You guys hit that like. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at the trading action. First up, I want to tell you guys about a swing trade that, boy, oh boy, am I taking a shot on one. But I said, you know what? You don't make it unless you go and you take shots, guys. So that's what it is today. I'm taking a shot. Let's see if it works out. Right at this point, I think it's looking great, but I'm trying to take a big swing here. So in this case, let's talk a little bit about it here. First up, we'll talk a little bit about my swing trade in Surve. Yes, I know it's Surve, guys. This is a hard one, guys. Yesterday, I made some money, lost some money on this name. I said, you know what? I'm going to swing trade this thing down. I'm going to see what happens if this can break down really overnight. I took the short there at around close to 9. Right? It was close to 9 and it did spike towards the close. I was a little bit worried going into the after hours, but in the after hours, it started to fade off. So that made me a little bit more confident. There was multiple times that I was down here towards this 860. Now we're starting to break into the 850s. That makes me feel a little bit more confident. And you guys can see right just recently at 805, it was right there at 9. So I took the shot there. I got 610 shares from 897. I'm up like 258. Could I take some profits right now? Yes, but I'm looking for the nice big win here, guys. I'm looking for this to knock down towards the 8. Then I will actually add to this. I'm actually looking to take a bigger swing on that, add 200 shares, get up to 810. Then take some profits towards the 740s and looking to knock this down, maybe potentially all the way back to 7 or 6. We'll see what happens. This is a bigger swing trade. Guys, smash the like for me giving you guys the insight on my swing trading action. Like always, you guys can keep up with me at MoneyMitch_TTP. Let's keep it going, guys. Trade the pool live. Also got HU. I talked about the Ether ETF and why and where I wanted to go ahead and size in. It was at the 65s to the 60 and the 50s. So I put out orders there and they hit yesterday. I literally just let them sit out there and it came right to my entry. So now at this point, I'm looking at those lows to kind of hold here. It can go and maybe do an undercut, maybe towards the 1150s and 1120s. Wouldn't want to see 11 break, want to see that hold and start to make its move back through 1275. I could add on this today if I can get down below my opening price. I'm feeling good about this overall just because where my entry is. And we'll see if the Ethereum starts to make a move and really starts to push. Of course, Bitcoin has been pulling back, so keep your eyes open for that. We could see a little bit more downside there, but I'll be watching this and also, of course, watching CleanSpark as that was one of my top trades yesterday. Really nice trade there. I'll look to see if this can pull back below 17 today and then start to make the move. So I'm going to look for the fake out to the downside, going towards like 1650s and then coming back there in CleanSpark. And there you guys see it. Surve now up 300 on the name. And man, it's hard not to just take the money and run. But I'm looking for a little bit of a bigger win. Let's see what happens on this one. I could take off half of it and then look to see if it comes back to 9, right? That's one approach that I can do. But of course, I'm going to be mixing back and forth on the accounts. So I'm just looking for the big win there. We'll see what happens here. At this point, what I could do is break even on the rest. So if it does come back to 9, I get out on all the 600 shares. And I look to get back in if it pops, let's say, to like 920, 930s, 940s. I could get back into the name, right? Just got to be smart here. Let's see if we get that nice little wipeout towards the open down to 8. That's what I think we might get there. And I'll start winning pretty big on this if that can happen. We'll find out. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's get to the next one here. Let's go towards the day trading action and take a look at some of the smaller names out there. If you guys have any stock that you guys want to take a look at, throw it up in the chat. Let me know because I'll be watching for them. DRMA is one that I'm seeing already kind of get the lift there. It's made multiple attempts back towards this $3, just undercut it, then went all the way to 4. Now we just undercut the 3. Actually looks interesting for it to make a move back to 4 here, but we'll see what happens here in DRMA. I think I call this one drama. But hey, we'll see what happens here. This stock has already made a couple of attempts. I think the hourly chart is really telling me something that I need to watch to see this hold right now. So that's around the 288, the 280 area. As long as that can hold, still looking pretty decent there. Maybe you get another attempt towards the 290s, but I think that 3 might just be that chance right there. We'll see what happens in DRMA. If you guys have any stock that you guys want to take a look at, please let me know. Did you guys miss the AZTR collapse yesterday? Wow, what a collapse, guys. I remember I was trying to call this short off of that 12 outlook, and boy, oh boy, this thing just started fading and fading and fading and fading and fading and fading all day long, going back down towards 4, and it's back down towards $1.23 today. What an insane short that would have been. But hey, you know, you can't worry about that now, right? I think we'll see what happens with this AZTR, but a bunch of them yesterday really just fell off the tape, right? ADIL was up there to 250. It's back towards $1.13. So be careful out there, traders. I think you're still seeing some leak out there in these kind of smaller cap names, and they're just really trappy right now, right? They're getting the up move fast. But after that, right, on the backside, we're not seeing as much, right? Yesterday, we clearly saw that. BBLG was one that was moving yesterday, and the backside trade did not want to work on this. But then in the pre-market today, it gets the lift again. So be careful out there, guys. We're getting these quick little rips followed by long leaks down. That's at least what I'm seeing in these small caps. Smash the like out there, guys. What are you guys taking a look at there? Could be a good swing to target. We'll take a look at that action. I got no problem with that. ENPH could go up too. It's in a range. Yeah, I agree. I was actually longing ENPH yesterday. I got out for like a small loss, but that's a big reason why is because I just set the stop really tight and I had to leave the computer, had to go be with the boys. But like always, I'm not going to complain about it, but I will be watching ENPH to see if it starts to continue to lift off. Rivian is one that is a little bit scary, guys, because I think in this case, you're going to maybe see all these auto manufacturers just start to take a hit. Ford is already back down. I talked about how this was topping up there by 1450s, and boy, oh boy, it's right back down to the 1360s. So not a bad outlook and turnaround look on Ford. While everybody was bullish on Ford, I started to flip, and everyone was bullish on GM yesterday with their report, and it's right back down to the 45. So I think at this point, even like a Zap, I think it's a nice short opportunity today because you could get maybe a little pop on this, but even if it doesn't pop, it could just start to fade and really go back down where it came from, right? This thing came from around $2. So I know it feels like it's already faded a good amount, and it has, but it's staying below the 9 EMA on the daily. And that's one thing that I'll be looking for a rejection into that area. So like, let's say back up towards this high that was on Monday, which is 1085, and then seeing it get the takedown. That's something to maybe look for. We'll see what happens in Zap and some of these other auto manufacturers. I don't think they're going to be able to hold on. Like, let's say like a Nikola, perfect example. This stock has no business even getting up like 10%. So for it to have gone up, let's say 52% from the bottom and now still staying up 30% just tells me that we could come back and take out this low from the split. The only reason it's trading at these prices is because of a stock split, which is a 1 for 30. So it could easily go and cut that low. That low is 877, and we could see this start to come right back down. So a lot of these auto manufacturers, I think they start to see it really start taking a hit and starting to get a down one. Down move, like let's say even like Lucid that started to go up. There's no reason for it to go up, man. It was just following the Tesla kind of sympathy. Let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there, guys. You shorted it 3 times, Chandra. There you go. Very low float shares. It was easy to kind of catch that move. Very risky on that AZTR. Yeah, it was risky for sure. And not many do we see that complete just fade off to like nothing. But hey, that's how it is, man. Boeing has reportedly resumed deliveries of the 737 MAX to China after a prolonged delay due to regulatory issues. That doesn't make me feel any confident, man. Boeing has so many issues. There's like a big Boeing office down the street. A little part of me feels like knocking on their door and being like, yo, what's going on here, guys? We need to figure this out. Because Boeing has a lot of issues, man. Holy moly. If there's a company that has some issues, it's Boeing. I mean, have you noticed how the media doesn't even talk about the Starliner right now? It's stuck in space. That is not a good outlook. You don't think they want to bring it back? These astronauts have been up there for months now. That's not what the idea was. It was supposed to be a quick trip and come back and then get like certification from NASA. If I was NASA, I would not certify Boeing. I would be like, you guys got to get things right. They're not SpaceX here. And so that's also a negative for Boeing. That's causing more negativity. Look, they have issues with their plane. They have issues with their space flight, their rockets. I mean, I can't trust Boeing at all. It literally scares me when I go on a Boeing plane now. And that shouldn't happen, but it's the truth. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is moving in the market. You guys let me know if you guys see anything you guys want to talk about. We'll take a look around here. Let's, of course, go to the Tesla action down towards the 225. Yesterday, I talked about breaking the 230s would be the area where things of concern would be. So can we reclaim that 230? You can see we rejected that 230 just recently. We went up there back towards 230.31 and rejection right back down. So Tesla, I'm thinking 50% retracement of the recent action. So if we take a look here, right, the recent action came from this bottom swing back up here towards this kind of like 270, right? So if I look at that, 50% retracement puts it right back here towards the 220 and 219. So that's kind of the area where I could see this coming back, and it could even come back here towards the 208. There's no reason why it can't do that. I think at this point, I'm actually looking for that to happen here. A pullback into that area. There's a little gap zone there too, right here on the day of Monday the 1st, where you kind of got up there. A high there is 213, and the next day you opened up at 218. So somewhere between 218 and 213 makes complete sense for this to come back. And if I look at the exponential moving average, that's 212. So with the story the way it is right now, I can see Tesla continuing to pull back. Yes, can it get a pop to 230s? Yes, it could even pop to 238. Can I see 240s coming back? No, I do not see that. So I'll be watching for pops and drops in Tesla. Let's keep going. Let's go to Google, as their report is kind of a disappointing one, because I was looking to see if Google was going to make a 200 run. And now that this is happening, this just goes to show me that, yeah, they're getting away from the semis. And I think that we might have had the best that we're going to see in SMH, right? I don't even think we might get back towards the 280. I think we're going to be in chop land moving forward for like the end of the year in these semiconductors, where you get some little pops, you get some drops, and you essentially start to go sideways and don't see too much gains. But I also am not saying that like Nvidia is going to go back to like $50, right? Of course, it has the split adjustment, but I'm not saying that it's going back to 50. But does it make sense for it to come back to like 90, 80, and then kind of go sideways here between 130 and 90? Yeah, I can see that happening. So for right now, Nvidia is kind of more of a short outlook. But you got to be careful with this one, because it loves to kind of gap up even on dailies. So I'd be looking for it to kind of try to close this gap first, go up to 126, and then really start to collapse. We'll see what happens here in Nvidia. It's been strong stock. AMD is another one that it's like, oh, it's going to rip to 185. Even I was feeling it, man. I took that trade, was able to make a good trade, and then I was feeling a little bit of the regret as this was going up to 187. But man, it's back down to 150 and could break all these daily action. There's no reason why AMD needs to kind of hold here now, as it just put in this big red weekly bar. It could take out these lows 147 and be back down there closer towards, let's say, the 130s or 110 in AMD. So if that starts to happen, you guys know it. You got to go. You got to go. We'll see what happens. And of course, Qualcomm, another one that's been taking a big rip towards the upside, could easily give up about 50% of the recent action. If I take a look at the move, 50% puts it back down towards the 170, and it's trading around the 190. We'll see what happens there in Qualcomm and other names. Industrials remaining strong. That's an area that we got to continue to watch. GE, big move yesterday. Can it continue? Can it do maybe a day 2 or day 3 move? It definitely got the nice spike. I could see a pullback to this 166, the trend line. This is a long-term trend line that we finally got above. So look to see maybe some pullbacks towards prior resistance, starts to act as support. 167 and 166 stands out for me in GE Aerospace. We'll see what happens there. Great, Scott. It's good to see you out there in the chat. What's going on out there, traders? How we doing? Good amount of you guys now starting to join in. Hit that like for me. And of course, let's keep it going right here on, of course, Trade the Pool Live. All right, guys, still a lot more to talk about. Let's take a look at the action. Guys, it's 9:04. We got to keep taking a look out there to see what's going on in the market. Surve going down there to 844, man. It's hard for me not to just watch Surve. Of course, Surve, a swing trade that I have on out there, down towards the 845. Man, it's so hard not to take profits sometimes when you're up big. That's one thing that, you know, some traders need to actually learn, right? It's the hardest thing, being up big and not running towards profits. Because one thing is, in swing trading, you're going to see those profits kind of move up. And it's just like sometimes I think about it, like, how do these fund managers that have like millions of shares, they see their stock up a couple $1 million and they're just not taking in that money? It's hard. It's hard. But we'll see what happens today in Surve if it can keep going lower. Little part of me is like, stop talking about it, Mitch. Stop talking about it. We'll see what happens today, guys. NUZE. Another one that's been ripping this morning, got up there from the 8 a.m., really popped there towards the 475. This is in the packaged food space. So talking about packaged foods, keep your eyes on like TSN, Tyson Foods, to see if that can continue. ADM is one that I'm looking at. You can take a look at all around here, right? You can look at Heinz Kraft, right? There's so many of these defensive names that could start to get a lift, especially as more uncertainty comes into this earnings season. We'll see what happens there. Basic materials, of course, is going to be definitely on the radar today. Gold and silver, two top watches for me. AG, can this start to recover? We played this up where it was at the 650s towards the 680s. Now, can it catch up and start to make a move right back up? We'll see what happens in silver. And aluminum on the radar, right? Because we talked about this yesterday, how we got signs from Porsche. Porsche said, hey, watch aluminum. Essentially, that's what they gave us. So at this point, I'm watching aluminum. I'm looking for it to get hot again and seeing if they can start making this move right back up in CENX. And who knows, maybe it makes a run right back towards this 19 from where we're at 16 right now. We're talking 19% higher. This one can be on kind of the swing alert. Really just want to take a look at the hourly. Look for this to start climbing back towards hourly levels. 1626 starts back into that 16. It's looking decent. We'll see what happens there, as Porsche gave me a little bit of a head start. We'll find out, guys. Smash the like out there. It looks like we're getting some more traders to join out there. And you guys on X right now, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe if you're not following us already. But like always, I want you guys to click the link right now and hit in the comments. Let me know your top trade of the day. Day trade with Tony. What's up out there, man? Be cautious with that DRMA. That's up over 140%, and it has S3s from 2 weeks ago. No news. Hey, good mention out there. Day trade with Tony. Definitely something to watch out there. Mitch, you see why I don't leave nothing overnight? Ooh, yeah, man. It's a tough one, man. This market is crazy. But right now, I got a big position future day trade on the short of Surve overnight. So let's not talk about negative overnight positions. It's doing well right now. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's see what else is out there, guys. Good to see you guys. And if you guys got a name, definitely throw it up. Day trade Tony was on point yesterday. What's the name today, Tony? All right, let's take a look out there. What else is making a move here? Let's see. Definitely going to take a look to see how can energy bounce back, man. This thing's starting to take a beating. It starts to come back, then it starts to come right back down, right? So there you got the undercut of the trend line again. This is how it started last time. Let's see if it starts to make the move back here in energy today. Real estate staying strong. If you're looking for an area that is strong, that's definitely an area that hasn't turned around. We're talking about Invitation Homes, right? INVH. That's something to take a look at there. There's a REIT residential. Let's take a look at some other residential REITs, right? What else will show up here? Well, you got a couple of these names like AVB, Avalon Bay Community, starting to go higher. So names like this, I would actually kind of watch in this environment, because in this environment, when you get the uncertainty, it's very easy for these kind of names that are more of your safety plays to start to get continued lift. And that's what I'm seeing here, guys, with Invitation Homes, and with even putting a rating out on this. I think it's an important thing to catch. So all these you guys can kind of watch out there. UDR, they're all starting to come back, right? So take a look at some REITs, residentials, and maybe it's just time to catch some dividends, right? That's what I think happens here. Right? A lot of times when the uncertainty in the market comes in, they start to pull some profits from the tech names and throw it into some dividend players. Why? Because, hey, they're just trying to get some return, right? In the uncertain times, and I can't blame them for it. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. Your IVP is moving. All right, well, take a look at it. I don't know if it's mine, but maybe it's someone else's. We'll see what happens. IVP, let's go. IVP back down to the 550s. This doesn't look good. This is right back down to the 550s. These have not come back, man. A lot of these have gone up, have not come back. What about cost, man? This thing got put to sleep at the $9. We'll see if this ever wakes up back through 10. Definitely just put to sleep, man. This thing isn't doing anything. What about that SMMT, man? Oh my God, this thing is slowly building. Yeah, dude, I was watching this thing for so long. It's still building. I don't even understand it, man. It feels to me like it should have a run. but it's just slowly stair-stepping higher. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep going, guys. What else out there is doing well? What's up with Donald Trump media, man? This thing doesn't like to go anywhere. I don't even know how traders trade it to the upside anymore. It's just annoying. All it makes moves is on the weekends and after hours or pre-market. Like if you're not trading on Robinhood on Sunday night, well, you might not get the move there in DJT. Will this thing ever wake up? I don't know, man. That's like Chewy. Chewy just put to sleep, man. It came back. It got there towards like 28, and it's right back down, right? So we'll see what happens there. And what about GameStop that was starting to make a move to 30, now back down to 25? I'll tell you one thing. This looks like it might want lower. GameStop might just got stopped. We'll just see there. We haven't heard anything from the Roaring Kitty. He's hiding out there. What's up out there, Eldon? How we doing? McDonald's week. Yes, Mickey D's restaurants overall week. This is not just a McDonald's thing. This is an overall issue that we're seeing here, right? Let's take a look at restaurants. This is restaurants outlook overall. This is the index, and we're seeing some quite big issues here, guys. So, of course, it starts with McDonald's, but then it leaks into Starbucks. So if you're looking for that drip coffee, Starbucks might be the move here. Chipotle also struggling, right? The three big names, McDonald's, Starbucks, Chipotle, all on the downturn and not looking good. Then we continue. Look, it's not looking good here, guys. I can flow, and flowing through these and seeing that downside action is not what you want to be seeing here on these names. So we'll take a look at that action, but man, it is not looking bueno here, guys. Why is my RSI not working here? Let me see here. There we go. At least I got the weekly. There it goes. Come back. I got it there. All right, so we can take a look at what's weak here, what's strong, but look at Chipotle down to 21 on the RSI. So that just tells me also the weakness that we're seeing there. Look at Yum, take a hit. QSR, take a hit. DRI, take a hit. Domino's Pizza taking a hit. Yum China. Texas Roadhouse looks like a short, man. Got to short the Roadhouse, man. This one looks to me like one that I could take a look at through 166, but the spread is hard on this one. We'll see what happens. But definitely, these look like they're just weak. Wingstop even taking a hit. Kava, that was really strong. Even my Bros, man. Even the Bros Coffee looks like it's going to come right back down. So restaurants not looking good there. Shake Shack, all these starting to struggle. And when you see an industry-wide move, those are things that we need to take a look at. Because if 10 stocks are going to go down in an industry, if I can just separate my money in those 10 stocks and go shorting those, what's the probability that it end green? Well, hey, 10 out of 10 are going down. I mean, the probability should be high, right? Things like this are all things to think about. Smash the like, guys. Like always, guys, we have some great things to talk about today. We, of course, got the Olympics. We're going to be talking a little bit of some big cap strategy coming up today, guys. Are you signed up for the Olympics? Of course, we're talking a trading competition that will be starting on Monday. But you don't want to wait till Monday to sign up because it will be locked out on Sunday. And you guys will be telling me, but I wanted to be a part of the competition. Well, too late for you, my friend. Sign up right now. I'll throw up the link in just a second here, guys. But like always, we'll talk a little bit about some big cap strategy. And we could take a look at the pre-market because a lot of times that's the way I go about it with this. So let's go take a look at big cap strategy. What do you guys want to take a look at? Name a big cap in the chat out there, guys. What do you guys want to take a look at out there? I will watch that and take a look to see what levels I can talk to you about that. But until you guys throw up some names, I'll take a look somewhere else to see how the stocks are moving. Is Tesla continuing to drop there? We're at the 227s and starting to get a little bounce there. Of course, you know, it's pretty weak now, so you could see some bounce. I'm talking about 230s, important level. From there, if you get through the 230s, the next layer where you can go up to is the 240s. So there will be some traders trying to trade kind of that bounce there in Tesla. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's take a look what else is moving. Of course, you guys see the Tesla chart there, 230s. I've already drawn it, starting to get a little bounce. Let's see if it gets there. NUZE, is that continuing, man? It got up there close to 5 now on the pullback. See what happens on that one. DRMA, another one that's been moving today. Didn't break out through that 3, but did give a little pop there. It went to 350s. We'll look to see if it holds the 288 right now. You did just undercut it again. So if it breaks 280s, that might just really kind of continue to drop. But if it can hold this and maybe come back through 4, 5 is still a room. There's still room here to run. The only question is, will it get the move? Find out, guys. Definitely found some sellers towards the 350. All right, let's keep it moving, team. What's up out there, traders? So much to take a look at in the market today, guys. And of course, we'll take a look at how our playbook is looking to set up here. How's Nextera going? Is that bouncing back? Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Of course, had the earnings. Now starting to make a little bit of an up move. This is one to watch today. It got through the earnings, which could have been the negativity that we needed to be careful with. It's holding 38.2% retracement of the recent move. Now can start to go push back to 76. I like this one, guys. And overall, I like some utilities today on regulated electric. So Southern Company, Duke. What are we going to see here, guys? A lot of these have already been strong. Duke, AEP, American Electrical Power, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, all these. Dominion Energy. I'm looking at them today. You guys watch them. Excel Energy. There's so many here. Of course, what I will do is I'd look at what is strong on the RSI and try to stay with those names, right? You can look for the leaders, the laggards type of trade where it's weak RSI and you're seeing for a trend change. That's more your Nextera Energy today, right? Your PEG, your public service enterprise. Those are the ones that could get that move that are on the low RSI, but on the high RSI, those should just continue the trend, and you can look for hourly pullbacks. So like, let's say this Duke, perfect example, right? So where do we see hourly support? Hourly support to me is closer towards right here around the 106 to 106, let's say back down into this gap zone, somewhere between the 105.40s to 106.23s. So an undercut through towards 106 is a layer that I could look for a pullback on the hourly to catch that and a run back to the upside. AMD 150 confirmed sort of a head and shoulders. Next stop 140. I don't know, man. I don't know on AMD. AMD just doesn't look bueno to me. But are you saying 140 next stop on the downside? Yeah, I mean, it could very much. It's an ugly looking chart now. I don't think this looks really pretty at all. Maybe a weekly head and shoulders pattern, and then you're getting a neckline break back through. I could see that, what you're looking at. We'll see what happens. Can't blame you on looking at that like that. It looks like it, right? You can see the right shoulder, left shoulder, head, but it's not clean also. And sometimes it's hard. But if you wanted to draw this as the neckline and the supporting trend line, that I can't blame you for it. And looks like we're about to just flow through there. Taking out this level right here, 141. Yeah, you're looking really bad there. RCG, let's take a look at that first short. All right, so this has already come back down. One thing to think about, though, is a lot of times when I look at retracements, I look at 50%. If I look at this, it's already there. So it's on the retracement level where normally the buyers come back in. So that's a straight Fibonacci level. But of course, that's more than your golden mean, your 61.8. Great, Scott. So between 50% and 61.8 is what I see a lot of the times works. But hey, it's always, perspective, right? You got to look at the data to kind of look at that. So at this level, I need to be looking at it to see if it breaks the next layer of support. Where is that? Let's look at the hourly. Hourly is going to help us out here. Hourly shows me a cup and handle pattern here that is available. That's a little concerning to me. I need to see this cut at least through this 16. And really, the takeout level is this 13.16. But by that time, of course, you're a little late to the move. You're on the lower quadrant of the move, so that's something to think about. So you can go in here shorting, but just remember, you reclaim kind of like 22 or this high here, right around the kind of, what's this high here? 22.44. So 22.44, you reclaim that. This starts to look like a cup and handle for the bull traders and could get moving. So we'll see what happens there. Great, Scott. I wish you the best. I think it's a bullish chart until it breaks that 16 and 13. So if you want to come quick, kind of the levels there right underneath it. And you can see here, you came towards 1611, 16 right on the dot, and you bounced right off of that. Let's see if we take it out towards the open. You also got VWAP above it, so it's showing you more how it is weak. And if the bulls are going to take this, they're going to have to drive it, right? So we'll see what happens there on RGC. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Ooh, I'm breathing heavy when I take a look at Surve. We'll see what happens, guys. Definitely big on the swing account and trying my best to just stay in the trade. We'll see. I'm up big. Just got to keep going after it. We'll see what happens there, guys. All right, what will happen in the tech trade overall? If we take a look at success, we can see here how this has been trying to come right back up. It's the day-to-day where you start to see continued breakdown in tech. Watch out there, guys. We'll see what happens. The Q's already leading down. That's where I get a little bit concerned, because when the market leads down too quickly, it does a move like this, where it did it in the pre-market. The downturn is already there. It's gone down 1.8%. So this is where it's hard to short on a day like today, because the overall market is essentially doing the negative move in the pre-market where it's not the liquidity in the market, right? And so essentially the move feels like it's already done. And even if we get a move down, how much further do we go in the intraday? This is why it's difficult to on a day like today. This is why also sometimes pre-market shorts actually makes sense. So when Google struggled and Tesla couldn't come back, that could have made sense to short the Qs. And then you could, if you wanted, hedge and go long on Tesla, right? So you go long on one of the names that you feel could bounce back and short the overall index and kind of pairs trade it on that kind of hedge outlook. These are things that I think about, traders. So I don't know about you guys. What do you guys feel about pairs trading? Let me know in the chat. It's something we can just talk about as a topic, something that I don't do consistently, but something that I've always thought about getting into. Let me know, guys. All right, let's keep it going. It looks like over 50 of you guys joining us now as we get more and more closer towards the bell. Let me know, what's your top trade you're watching for? Of course, we got some of these smaller names really kind of getting hit here. We'll see if they start to come back. I know cannabis has been strong as of late. How's that continuing? MSOS back down to the 782s yesterday. Was starting to make the move right back. So we'll look to see if this ever really starts to make the move back through like 825s, 850s, and starts to make the run. But nothing that I'm looking at right now. Drama still trying to hold that $3 spot, but don't forget, it could easily come back towards like this 263. And it's already kind of made a lift in the pre-market. Got up there towards a high of 530s. Will this one catch a push here? Find out, guys. Definitely a difficult one to trade. All right, guys, time to start setting up some watch lists. Time to start setting up some of the charts here on the right-hand side. It's 9:23. We got to get ready for the bell here, and we'll be watching all around to see what's moving in the market. Right now, I see, of course, that NUZE is one of the ones that we could be trading today. Definitely going to avoid trading some of the really quick movers. And if I do trade some of these pennies, I'm going to keep trading them just small. Keep trying to stick to some of the bigger names. Of course, you guys know the habit that I've been trying to work on. I'm going to continue trying to work on that habit. And this week's habit to make better, right, is to start slower and size in slower than just quickly getting in and getting stopped out. It's been working for me all week, right? Green Monday, green Tuesday, green Wednesday. I hope to be green Wednesday. Let's get after it. We'll see what happens today. Starting the day green, at least in the swing account. Looking to take some good trades. No trades on in the pre-market today, as I just didn't see anything that was available to me. Let's see what happens in the intraday. And of course, trying to continue stepping up in size, but trying to figure out a way to size in there slowly, right? So slow size in on the way down as I'm trying to catch, let's say, longs. Slow size in on the way up as I'm trying to short. And then once it starts going good in my direction, or let's say 15 minutes or hourly charts start to look good for the breakdown and breakout, that's when I start to hammer down and get big. That's what I'm trying, guys. And like always, let me know what's your habit that you want to improve on. I've talked about it. We're going to work on one habit a week. You guys out there, work on one habit this week. What are you improving? And it's your system that needs to improve, not the goal or outlook, You can have a goal of having good execution or not revenge trade, but what in your system is going to get you there is the important thing here, guys. Smash the like. Let's keep moving. All right, let's take a look at what else is moving in the market this morning. Let's go to the scanners here and take a look at the pre-market buzz here. So Crowdstrike, definitely in play, something to watch, right? So a lot of traders have been trying to trade this back to the upside, and now it starts to look like it turns around, right? And so you got all the lemmings, and I'm going to call them lemons, right? Because the truth is that the analysts all came in here just chasing each other. Downgrade, 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 downgrade. Now, let's see if Crowdstrike stuffs it right back to them. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I would look at hourly charts. We talked about how we're looking at big cap names to look to see if the hourly levels can hold here. So hourly levels, let's just draw those, right? We'll pull these down here. So support seeming like it's holding in towards around 263. We've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to undercut that. So maybe look for the fourth attempt to fail. So a lot of times I look for these fourth attempts to fail and create a bullish engulfing candle look at the bottom. So that's what I'll be watching. It needs to come back here through the resistance really to get you excited. So that's moved back through 277 on the top end. So I'll go ahead and I'll draw a green line there and looking to see if you can get that undercut through this level and then look to see if it comes right back up. There is this undercut low, this 258. So somewhere in between that 258, that 263, we could look to see if we get that undercut move and then look to see if it starts to come right back up. You want to see that bullish engulfing look where you get that undercut and then a nice big green candle as it starts to come back. I think a lot of traders are looking to try to trade this. So that's my outlook for Crowdstrike today. If I could see this 263 break, I can start risking off of that lower level, the 258, looking for this to come back to the 276, 278. And this is going to be a big kind of spread kind of move, right? This is one of those trades that you have to go in slow, because if I go in it at like, let's say even, 30 shares easily, you start to get hit really fast on a name like this. So be careful out there, traders. All right, guys, par, if all big caps continue falling like in the pre-market, could be nasty. There's a gap from June 12th. This is the problem, though. I talked about this, and I feel this way. You can be against it, and I completely am not against, you guys having different opinions. But when the market does this is where we got to be a little bit careful because it's already dropped big. And so when you come into the market today, do bears want to get more short? No, they're waiting for bounces to get short. So the bounces come in a lot of the times as some shorts start to take profits. And yeah, you will get some profit taking at the gates, but that usually causes a little bit of a bounce and then the follow through, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Bounce and then follow through. Not necessarily out the gates, just wash out to the downside. So we'll see what happens. Like always, we can't really make too many assessments before the market opens, but what we can have is what's called situational awareness, right? If the stock does this, then I'm doing this. If the stock does this, I'm looking at this, right? That's how we put it together. It's all theoretical thinking. And I look a lot at trading like just doing a kind of a science experiment, right? That's what it is, guys. It's taking a trade based on a theory, then seeing how it comes out, analyzing the data, and taking a summary analysis, and then coming back after it if you need to. Smash the like, guys. We got a lot more for you guys. You guys know where you're at. Of course, it's Trade the Pool, baby. Get after it. Let's see what we can come up with today. Who's going to get out of the pool? That's what matters, guys. We all get in the pool every day. The only question is, who's getting out of the pool? Fish out of water, I call it. Let's see what happens today, guys. Who's going to be the fish out of the water today? Just flop it around. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get that money. What are you guys doing out there, guys? Where's the stock trades out there today? Guys, keep throwing them up. Let's see what we can do towards the bell here. All right, guys, it's 9:29. We're about to open up, guys. Surve is back towards 881, so that's going to be a tough one to watch, guys. I'm going to leave that one alone, guys. I will be watching it on the sideline, of course. That's towards more of course, the swing count. I'll keep watch on that. We'll see what happens today. If that one gets moving above 9s, I could either cut it or I could add to it. We'll see what happens here as it's right back there towards the 9s. All right, going to take a look out there. NUZE trying to get the first move there and running into a little bit of a wall at 5. But let's take a look at some different ones out here to start the day. All right, Nextera Energy. It's giving me a nice little move there. We'll see what happens on this one if this one can get moving. But looking for a nice little pullback on this to start getting hot. We'll see what happens in Nextera Energy if it can make a move on the day. So let's say attempt towards 72.25s. Doesn't look too bad. But we're already getting a nice little lift there. Starting to push right off the top here. So I'm looking for a nice little VWAP pullback as it's trying to get some hot. I did like that decline there. It's trying to hold in right now. Let's see what happens on this Nextera Energy. Holding in right now, guys. I might take a shot here really quickly off the 72.20 area. Watching Nextera Energy here, guys. Drama back towards that 3. Did try to undercut the 280s 3 or 4 times here. So if I do take that drama, it would be 100 shares off of the 280s. There's about 3,000 shares right off of that level. So I know I'm not the only one watching that 280 here. Leave that 280 gives up, but I'm watching that drama. There's Nextera Energy starting to get the lift there. So going to start to look to start getting the size in this. Going to start going at it slow and then look to really size in on this. All right, let's see if I can get a pullback here towards 73.15 for the first entry. They're going to look to add bigger below 73s. Let's see if we can start to get a little bit of a pullback in this. 73.15s are out now. I'm going to start to look for below 73 for more ads there. 72. Let's do 80. There we go. Back to the 72.80s there. Let's go towards 72.70s. All right, and then we can go all the way down there towards 72.50s. All right, do got one entry there, guys. Ladder underneath this. Starter on there on Nextera, but going to continue to try to build it on pullbacks. We'll see what happens here as we start to attack it, guys. All right, looking good there. It's still holding that 73. Now starting to make a little bit of an up move there. So we're going to try to size in a little bit more, just slightly below it towards the 73s here. Still need a pullback below that 73s to really kind of get bigger, but trying to get some, trying to move the ladder up a little bit here. I like Nextera today. I think it could have a really nice move here. There's a nice little pullback there. Got a nice fill there towards the 72.93s. So starting to size in on Nextera. Next spot would be 72.70s. Looks like it's starting to hold that 73 pullback. Look, that's a good outlook there. 75, probably the next entry for me. Still trying to size in accordingly and be small early, then get big. All right, guys, looking around to see what areas are trading in the market today. Up, industrials, financial services, and basic materials. Gold probably doing well there. We'll take a look to see what happens on gold. It's doing really good on the month and on the day, guys. I'm taking a look at that gold trade. GLD is one to kind of take a look at there. Look at the pullback on that. Already starting to get hot, of course. GLD was on the playbook today. Now really starting to make the move. So it doesn't look too bad at all here as it starts to push. It could not pull back to that 19. It could just start to push towards the 20 run. So I like this here on little pullbacks here. 1875, 1870s. Let's see if we can start to get this gold trade here. GLD. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some here on the pullback towards 1870s. We'll see what happens here. Let's see if we can start to get this. And this one doesn't move as fast, so I might need to size in a little bit faster. We'll see what happens. I'm still going to try to do the 20 shares, but just got to put out a couple orders there. All right, so pull back to 74 is the first spot that makes sense for me. Then we can take a look to see if it pulls back a little bit further here. I'm going to take a look at the hourly level. Hourly is just a little bit too high, man. I need to see a little bit of a pullback back towards like the 1850s. So that's where it gets a little bit hard because it's already kind of made a move here. It did hold the 66 spot. So, hey, if I wanted to maybe take the 73s to the 19, but I have to risk right off that 64 spot there. Nextera Energy is pulling back on me a little bit there. So I'm going to watch this gold move. We'll look to see if it gets back to the 1873s, maybe 1870s. But this one's holding above the VWAP right now. That's Nextera Energy. Not Nextera, gold, GOLD. All right, taking a look here at Nextera. It is back down towards that 72.50s. I got about 72.84 with about 80 shares here. Going to look to see if it starts to bottom out here and then make the move right back to the upside. Nextera. What do you want to do here? 15-minute. Definitely want it to break the 72.26 here. So maybe 45s on the last ad here, at least on the downturn. Got the 45s out there for one more ad if needed. Then 72.26 going to be that remaining spot there. As it starts to turn through 73s is where I'll start to size in big. All right, trying to get out there, guys. Trying to get after it. You guys out there, smash the like. All right, guys, what else is out there? Been in the pool for a year now. I just caught that comment, Future Day Trade. You're hilarious, man. Always love to hear you guys out there having a good time. Surve up there towards 915s, man. A little part of me feeling like sizing up in Surve, but I'm leaving that one alone on the swing trade. I'm just going to let it work for right now. Nextera, one more energy filled there now. Got around 72, 75s, about 100 shares. Going to look for this to reclaim now, start to really make the move. Get back up there, go from red to green here on the 5-minute. Let's see if this can go red to green. Green would be through 72, 77. So get back through that 72.80s and we can start turning this green and I could go big on Nextera. I'll probably add another 200 shares if we start to kind of make that nice rip there. So keeping an eye on that one. Drama 365, guys. So that DRMA, man. Oof. That 280 spot, guys. It cracked there, 280s for just a slight second. Right back through threes, guys. That's the level to look for. We were talking about it there. DRMA. Look at this action, guys. Went back through that 280s, undercut it, really quickly recovered it, back up towards 365. What a move there in DRMA. Now to a halt. All right, guys. Nextera starting to get the lift there. Going to look to see if we can really start to push here. Doesn't look too bad here. I could add at the 72.50s, but start to expose myself a little bit too quickly. And that's the important part. Trying my best to slow that action down on the overexposure early. All right, starting to get a little lift there, 72.60s. Now I need to go to Nextera Energy to see if we can get the 5-minute to get towards the green candle here. We only got about, what, a minute 30 left on the candle. And that's usually when I look to see the swings back, where the colors can change and kind of make swings. Let's see what happens here. You guys out there, let me know if you guys see any smaller names making a move today. We'll catch the check out there. BBLG halted DRMA. Hey, there you go. Mira, is that a continuation to the downside? We'll see. There's Surve starting to break a little bit to the downside here. Oh, man, I feel like stepping up to the plate. Let's go to it, guys. I'm going towards the swing account and looking to step up to the plate on Surve here as it starts to break 9 again here. So got to go ahead and take a look at it here, see where I want to step up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up my stop that I had for the ad on the hourly lows. So if it breaks hourly lows, I start to go ahead and step up. So that's around the 830s break. So 830s, and I'll add another 200 shares, looking to take a nice big win in Surve today. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. This is going to be a hard trade. That's for sure. You guys see it. I'm up 75, was up about 300 in the pre-market. So definitely want to get over the 300. Risk about 150, 200 on this name. Looking to try to make a nice little like $600 winner. Let's see what happens, guys. Going back to the day trading action. Let's go. Let's go, team. All right, seeing Tesla on a little bit of a pullback there. BE staying hot, guys. So Bloom Energy, definitely one to kind of keep a watch on. Industrials bouncing back right now, guys, staying strong. So CAT Cat really starting it off right off the box here. So this is one that I was watching yesterday. Nice recovery through the 346. Could really get this going. It's already kind of making a little bit of a move. I'm looking for a pullback to 433.30s here. If I could get that on Cat, I don't mind an entry there. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw an order there just to make sure if it pulls back, I get that entry. 343.30s on the first entry. We'll see what happens there. And this one's a little bit where I got to go slower and just size in accordingly. So 343.30s can go 343s. Could go slightly below that, 342 like 80s. And it's already ripping here. You guys can see it. So I'm not going to overreact, though. I'm still looking for that pullback. 343.50s would be like the highest that I could get it at. So I'll put one out there just in case it just pulls back a little bit here. But starting to get some orders out there for Cat. And if they start to get filled, I'll look back here. Nextera Energy now going into the green there for me. Looking like it wants to start to make the move here. So now it's time to size in accordingly and take the swing. I'm going to go ahead and try to go ahead and step up here, guys. So let's see what happens here on Nextera. Looking for the 95s and 90s here to really start stepping up. Taking about 100 shares there. Just looking for some drops to start marketing in and sizing up here in Nextera. Nextera, let's go. Drop towards 72.90s. Give me a little drop below 73s. If you just want to rip here, hey, I ain't going to be mad at you. All right, 73.20s, almost making through the high of the day. Let's go. Let's go. Not looking too bad here. Now we really start to get going here. Now really looking for some pullbacks to get bigger on this. Let's see if I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and put out there 72.95s. I'm putting out here 72.80s. And I can maybe just put 73 on the dot, but I'm below towards 72, 75. Don't want to push my average too high. So I know where the pullback levels are. Breakout here, let's say 73.50s. I can start looking for pullbacks closer towards 73s, but it needs to break through that high, 73.40s. Here's 73.33s. Let's keep it moving, team. What's going on out there, traders? It's a busy day to start it off. Let me know what you guys are seeing in the market. Here's 73.40s, 73.44s. Let's go. NEE getting that move there. Let's go, guys. GOLD continuing the strength there. It didn't pull back there. It's looking like it wants to stay strong right now. I'm still looking for pullbacks on that. How's AG doing there? Some silver action. We'll look to see if silver gets going here today. ETHU, the Ether, still holding 12 there. We'll see what happens on that. Cat giving me that first entry there. So Cat in the hat, man, trying to start going to size in on this one. Let's get to the action on this one. Let me zoom in here. This one's a little bit harder to trade here. So trying to size in here accordingly. Spread it around the 413.10s here. So definitely need to pull back and try to get some pullback fills here. So bid at 343.20s. So 343.20s is where I want my first kind of order out there. Trying to go ahead and get some ads here. Buy the VWAP, which is 343.50s. All right, guys, got about only 10 shares there. So I'm trying to size into Cat here accordingly. But hey, you know how it is, man. It's a tough spread to try to get filled. So you just got to put some orders out there and see how it works out. 342. What I got? The 343.44s. So trying to at least get the 343.40s. Gonna put on another couple orders here. Just trying to get some pullback fills here on Cat. Still no ad on that. Nextera stopping right there at that 74.30s, 74.40s, right at the resistance. Looking for pullback to the VWAP to add. That's 72.90s on Nextera. We'll look to see if we get that pullback, but for right now, it's kind of hanging in there. I'll put that 72.90 out there. I'm willing to add if it comes back to that level, but for right now, let's see if it takes the next step. Cat still pulling back there, still trying to get some ads here in Cat, but the spread is wide, guys. Spread is wide. Be careful out there. Just looking at the offer here to see if I can get it to drop down below my entry. Then I can go ahead and add on that. 343.77, looking for that drop to come towards like 343.20s, but it's holding in here. The spread is wide on CAT, but it's still looking great here on the day. I only got 10 shares though. I definitely want to add to it, but I got to get the ads closer towards the 343.30s. All right, got some orders out there, guys. Like always, we'll see what happens if I can get some pullback fills, but it's already starting to rip towards the upside. So at this point, I can try to spread out and try to grab some at 344s, but I can ruin my average that way. So I'm trying to step up here, but it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough for sure. All right, that's already starting to make the move. We'll look to see if that can keep pushing. Nextera, I'm going to go back to that. That's pulling back, so that can give me some pullback fills. Let's see what happens on that one. Looking for that slight dip down here towards the 72.90s. What's going on in those smaller names out there, guys? NUZE back towards 370s. That blew off top at the 5 spot. Here comes that 72.90s, trying to get me that fill here on the VWAP. I'm putting it slightly down as it was right off of that. So I got it down on the bid at 72.88 right now. There's that fill there, guys. Now we're getting a little bit of a dip there. Now I can set up here around the 75s where my entry was. Let's see if the stock comes back towards my entry. But I got 200, willing to add it, especially if we start to make the move back towards 73.40s here. So there's the pullback entry. CAT starting to make the move up, but still no fills on pullbacks. Still only got the 10 shares. Just still trying to get in after it, guys. Shorting Tesla? Brave person out there. Definitely. Google, pretty strong compared to the market. That's interesting to note. Good catch. All right, back through the 73s there for NEE. So that's looking great here. I'm trying to add at 73.10s here. Just trying to still step up to the plate here, guys. So now I'm trying to add on pullbacks here for NEE as it starts to lift here. Let's see if I can get this pullback to 73s. Pulling it to 73 right now just to see it drop down. I'm looking for the offer to go to 73.05 for just a second here, and then I can add. See if we can get that. Starting to push there, 73.20s. Looking good here as it starts to push. We'll look for that next drive, really. Looking good here on NEE. See if we can get some pullback to fill a little bit more. I don't mind. I just don't want to step up at the high. That's really where I'm not trying to do. I'm trying to do pullback. So the 9 EMA right now, 73.11s. That's kind of where I can target, right? We talked about the 9 EMA yesterday. That's what I'm trying to target here. Looking good as we start to break the 73.30s. Let's see the hourly levels for the next spot on the upside. 73.60s, then we can go through 74. So through 74 is really where I want to take some profits. That's where I really will take some profits. Let's see if this really wants to ride. Let's go. Let's go. CAT is the hat. Now has 3 resistance tries there, guys. So be careful out there. We could see a little bit of further pullback in CAT. Now I got 43.66. So got to be careful for a takedown towards the low and then the reclaim on CAT. So I'm spreading out just a little bit lower. Looking for some pullback fills. Right now I got 20 shares. Try not to overextend because that one was a move where I went up on the fill. Don't want to go up on the fill. A lot of the times I'm trying to go down on the fill, right? So, hey, the battle's on out there, guys. NUZE while I snore. News. This one, can it recover 4 and make a run back? I don't know, man. Drama, DRMA, got up there to the 409s, got up there to 5. I talked about that in the pre-market, how that made sense. Now I think it's kind of slowing down a little bit. I don't know if it can break that 5. We'll see what happens. There's some resistance there for sure. So that's going to be where you run into some sellers. We'll see if this can hold the VWAP pullback and get back up there. CAT now going a little bit red. We'll look to see. It's just a spread right there, right? So you got to be careful with those spreads. Try to give yourself the advantage. on the undercuts, right? With a big spread. Give yourself the advantage with the spread. Look for those pullback fills. NEE, still just chomping around out here. Feel like it's going to take the 73.40s. Still got that limit at 73.10s and 73.09s. It hasn't pulled back for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put 73s on the pullback. If I do get that fill, we'll see what happens. We're right there on the breakout, so don't want to jump up there and ruin my average. All right, what other ones we can take a look at here? Looking around, guys, to try to find some of the bigger moves. BBLG, is that still on the halt? Yes, it is. Yes, it is still on the halt. Second halt. So be careful out there, guys. There's a lot of these halting. PIRS just halted on the downside. Look at this thing. What a crazy move on this. Up to 17s, now down to 14s. This is where you got to be careful. Smaller share size can maybe make you a good gain here, but bigger share size, easy. How you just get wrecked. TKNO trying to continue, but that's a smaller name. All right, let's look at some of the bigger names there. Let's look at the list here. A lot in the red here, guys. So a lot on the downside action out there. So we'll see what happens out there. But DJT also down too. What is up? EMPH, First Solar. EMPH and First Solar. So what about Run? Run on the playbook today. Did get a nice run itself, guys, right out the gates. I missed that push towards 1825. So I kind of like this on the pullback. Just need to get it back here towards like 1740s, but I'll start right here. Run, baby, run. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to start here. I'm going to try to get up to like 300 shares. So let's do it a little bit bigger than what I normally been doing. I've been doing about the 20 shares here. I'm looking for 45 start here. Then I'm going to look for a little bit lower than that 40s. We'll look at 40s for an ad here. We'll look at like 35s. Or 30 on the next one. And then just to kind of give it a little bit more, I'll do the 1725s and just a further pullback to see if I can get it here. First entry there at the 45s already hits there on Run. We'll look to see if we get another one here. Looking for the 38s on that next fill. Then just looking to size down there accordingly. We'll see what happens. Trying to ladder in, guys. Ladder in is the way that's been working for me. But Run, good move there to 1830s. So the profit outlook here is what I think is very important. Risk to return, just got to keep that in mind. Cat. Giving me a quick fill there, guys. Quick fill on that cat. So just got to go ahead and now determine the risk to return here, guys. So that's what matters here. Where's my risk? I'm going to risk about $100 here. Understand what that is. 30, 40, 64s. So 30, 40, 64 is my out. We'll give myself a little room for it to see if cat comes back. But if it doesn't, hey, so be it. But also telling me what? On cat, should it spread out the order a little bit more? But the 40 shares keeping me small, keeping me in the trade for right now. NEE, let's go, guys. What else you guys got out there? Biotech is a dangerous vehicle to invest. That's for sure. Killed it on PIRS. Hey, get after it, man. All right, guys, a lot going on in the market today. Let's keep it going, guys. It is not looking too bad. What are you guys taking a look at? Can Nextera break here? Let's go. All right, that's my best one so far. Looking at Run here to see if it can start to slow down and start to make the move right back to the upside. So Run. Run, baby, run. All right, trying to buy it off the low here and see if it can just come right back. And so what I was looking at was really the hourly chart here, how you went back through this kind of trend line, then you kind of rejected that. So looking for it to come back here towards these layers, then get right back up. So that's like kind of 17, 18, somewhere in between here, reloads, and then really gets going again. Let's see what happens now. So you got about 2 entries there. Now 1738 is going to probably get the next entry right here through the 30s. Just got that next entry right there. Now it could come back down here. So I'm giving myself a little bit more room, right? I'm going to the 1720s here. 1718s could be that bottoming. So that could be another level that I could put 18s, but 2 cents away. I'll leave it there. Look for this to start turning around. 1738, 120. Size and slow. That's what I'm looking at, guys. All right, let's take a look around. Let's see what else is making a move. You guys, what is going on in the Qs today? Qs down there, 477. It was a straight down move out the gates and continuing the down action. Didn't expect that, but that just goes to show you the weakness in the market right now. Microsoft trying to come back there. Google is coming back. Could get a fade later on in the day. I'm not sure on that one. That's a tough one. Tesla down to 217, man. 217s. There goes the 50% into the golden mean range already. Tesla. What happened in Tesla, guys? Down there, coming down now towards maybe the 207. So in between that 210 spot, it could actually be a buy, but there goes Tesla, guys. There it goes. Elon, you couldn't save it, man. Cat giving me a nice hit there, guys. Down about 100 on that one. Going to keep battling. Nextera now going into the green there above the 1740s. So that's actually looking good. We'll still look for the ad if I get a pullback on this. But for right now, I'm going to let this continue to work. There you go, run. And Nextera. We'll see if we get back there, guys. All right, guys. Going to continue to battle on the day. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. All right, I still see Surve starting to come down there, and it's giving me a heart attack, guys, because the trade is big now on the swing account. It's about 810 shares. Still looking at Surve coming down there. Now I'm getting that downturn in run. Could get that next fill there. We'll see if I get that fill down to the 1720s. How did CleanSpark do today? That was also on my radar. Let's take a look at that action. It is undercutting. It trapped to the 18s, now undercutting. I'm looking for an undercut through 17. Coming down here towards yesterday's wick of 1660s. Then later in the afternoon, starting to make a run. We'll look to see what happens there in CleanSpark. NEE starting to pull back after it tried to break through the 7350s. So could get a pullback to 72.99 here on NEE. So I'm going to pull back my ad towards that layer, which is 73s, maybe slightly below the 72.95s for an ad on VWAP. And then we'll look to see if it just continues to push higher. That's actually looking great. I could run to the 100 right now and just be break even on the day, but I'm looking for that extension towards 74. And that's really what's going to make the money here in NEE. Run, baby, run. Run starting to turn back to the upside. So looking good there in that run. Now, as I start to get this nice little downturn, I still got the limit out there for the 1720s. I'm looking for this to start popping back. So 1750s is really where I could see this starting to reclaim a 9 EMA, starting to show the strength back. So I needed to see that happen first before I want to take a big position. So here's run trying to get back towards that 9 EMA, trying to get back towards that 1750s. So let's see 17 show up. And then I'll look for a little bit of a pullback. There's 1749s already starting to get into the green. Got 120. Still gives me that potential for this to make me a good gain. There's 1750s already showing up. Now I'll look for pullbacks back towards 1740s and 1730s for ads. 1740s out here for an ad. Let's see if I get the pullback and fills and then it just starts going higher. There's Surve now down towards 832s, and I got to go take a look at this, guys. My heart is beating. My heart is beating over here, guys. And when your heart is beating, what does it mean? You might be too big on one position. And it ain't my day trading right now. Go look at the swing trade action here and why my heart's beating fast here. Let's take a look at the action there. There was a nice little dip there towards the 830s, and man, I almost don't want to look, but let's go take a look, guys. Let's take a quick one here. All right, there you guys see it, guys. I'm up about 320 on that Surve and up big, guys. Big size in here, guys. It got down there to 827s, 825s. Need to take a look at this, guys, as I really got to take some profits soon, but the truth is where to take it, guys. It's very hard. So what I'm going to do, guys, is set up here for a move back down towards the 8 here. Got to go ahead and just manage here and just be smart. This is not a bad looking trade, but got to stay smart, man. That's already back there towards the 855s. It's almost like they know I'm watching it, man. Who's out there trying to get me and Surve? We'll see what happens, man. is down there towards what? A low of 830. So looking for that to break and then going towards the next layer on the downside. We'll see what happens. I'm going to leave it for right now. I still got some working orders out there, but they're down there. So I'm going to bring one up at least closer towards the $8 for one of these, and then I'll let the rest of them keep working. We'll see what happens there, guys. This one's a hard one, that's for sure. All right, let's go back here towards the day trading action. We'll get right back to it here. Let's see what's going on in Run here. Run didn't fill me at that 1740s, came back to 1740s one. It's back towards the 1750s here. Now I want to see if the 1750s can hold on this pullback and really start to push. If we can do that, start to move towards 1760s, 1765s, I'll look for 55s on the ad and 50s on the pullback. But that's the way that I look at it right now. I'm actually pulling back my limit below my entry right now because it went to it, just didn't fill. So it didn't want to give me that fill at the 40s. I'm not going to just leave it there for them to take it. I'm going to pull it back below that layer to see if it comes back to it. But what I'm really looking is for this, the push now towards the 60s, get towards it. The next resistance is right there at 1765. So I'm looking for that push. And then as that happens, I start to look for pullback ads. So the next resistance would be right here to 1766, and then I'd look for some pullback ads. All right, guys, trying to stay with the stocks that I was looking at today. Industrials are doing well, financial services, basic materials. So gold, how's that gold trade doing? Anybody in gold out there? 1760 starting to show up there for Run. Next stop, 1765. There's the resistance touch. Now look for pullbacks back towards the support, towards 1751. So pullbacks out there available for me now to 1751. And I'm looking for this to just start running. If it just runs, hey, let it go. Let it go. Where I don't want to do is keep ruining my averages by sizing up either too big too early or sizing up and chasing on the upside. Now it's the 1770s and I'm at 1738s. The bottom on the recent action was 1727. So feeling confident, only what, 10 cents away from that. Now can let this start to work. I'm getting into a nice stronger green position and trying to let it work. All right, let's go taking a look at Nextera here. It's up there towards 73.50s. Tried to hit it multiple times and can't do it. So I'm canceling out my ad at 73 just because it should have already gone and made that nice move here. So we could get a little bit of a pullback here in NEE. I have a couple of attempts there. I got 1, 2, 3 attempts. So this is the last attempt that I can give it before I had to go ahead and just take the money and run. So I'll show you guys what that means and why do I look at things like that. So I look at this, right? I see 1 attempt to get through the high. I see 2 attempts to get to the high, 3 attempts to get to the high and pulling back. I don't want it to break the 73.21 because you can easily just come right back towards my entry, looking for it to come right back up through that 73.60s and actually make that expansion move to 74. So let's see if we can get that moving. 15 minutes still has a 73 pullback that it could do. So I'm keeping that in mind, but definitely wouldn't want to see it, let's say, back towards 72.70s. All right, we'll see if Run can really get that motor going here. It's right back up towards the VWAP. So that makes me feel good as we're towards VWAP. Now let's see if we reject VWAP here at the 70s and come back down, or do we take the next step up on the upside? So on Run, I had that ad at 51. I'm going to slightly move it back towards 1742 or 43s because that's where the support is right now on the pullback. So for right now, I don't want to chase up here at the 70s and let it come back to me because it'll push my average probably closer to 1750s, 1755s, and then it pulls back there and I'm stopped out, break even. All right, NEE starting to pull back and doing that little bit of a trap look to see if it cuts down. So now I know, hey, back through that low, I probably want out, 73.14. Let's see if it can make the move back through 73.60s and actually run to 74s. This is where I could get an ad, but to tell you the truth, at this point, you're opening up risk on the downturn versus on the upswing, like what I talked about. What's up out there, guys? What are you guys taking a trade on? I love gold, I tell you. Bathed in a gold bathtub of oil. All right, guys. What else is moving, guys? Where's my traders at today, guys? You guys are quiet in the chat. What's up, man? Is it a hard trading out there today? Come on. Let me know, guys. What do you guys take a look at? It's a difficult day, that's for sure. All right, there's the run, trying to get through that and trying to get back through the 18s. Doesn't look too bad at all here. All right, guys, where is the moves today, guys? I'm going to look at the cues to see what's getting wrecked here from the open here. TTD taking a big hit, starting to bounce. Tesla starting to bounce. So seeing some bouncing out there as we're starting to see that. What is taking a beating? ARM is just, I think it lost an arm. And this looks like a head and shoulders pattern. So this actually looks like a continued downside action. That's why I talked about that we might have seen the top in SMH. So the semiconductors, the ETF really taking a hit. This could come right back down. We'll see what happens. How's NVIDIA doing there? Struggling right out the VWAP. We'll look to see if it takes another leg down. Qualcomm really weak. I talked about how this one looks good for a short, looks good for a continued downside. KRE for the short. Regional banks starting to collapse there. Let's go, guys. I've been trying to short this bad boy too, guys. So this one's going to be one more. Then I got to kind of go after it really quickly. So I'm looking for a bounce, man. I kind of missed the downturn there off the 58s. I talked about this level specifically. Looking for what? Another topping action, trying to break through that 58, now starting to break through the support. So moves back to the VWAP is really where I want to get big, but I want at least a little piece in this. Let's see if it comes back here towards 57.60s. That's really where I would love to get big, 57.70s. But for right now, 57.20s is where it's at. I can look for a little bit of a move back to 57.55. That's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to have the shorts out there. The only question is, will they come back to try to get me? All right, the 50s is the first one that I'll put out there. And then I'm going to really start putting some out there. I'll do 765s. 70s, man, I wish I would have had this a little earlier. Of course, on this first dip back towards 57.35, this was the pop to kind of get short on. So now I gotta kind of have to chase it here, and I hate chasing, man. I'll tell you that. I hate chasing. So looking to try to get short on this. Of course, this was part of the playbook, but now I need a little bounce here. Come back to try to stop out the guys that short at 57.60s. Because for right now, I'm chasing down, and I hate chasing down. I won't do it, team. I won't do it. If I do that, I'm just asking for myself to get hit. All right. VWAP is towards 57.70s, so I'm going to put it out there just to see if I can get it back there. If it does start to come back, that's really where I want to start to get the real size in. So, hey, just putting out multiple orders there, but it needs to come back some. Not going to chase it down here at the 57s. NEE coming back on me there, guys. So that one might actually be a cutout there. It's coming right back towards my entry here. So this is going to be a tough one to kind of hold on. I'm going to hold on there towards the 72.70s. Only about a $23 risk here, but it really needs to recover 73 here. This is where I can size in. So back through 73.20s, I'm going to go ahead and take an ad. But if it comes back and hits me, hey, so be it. I gave it the chance. The 74 seems to make sense on the daily for me as it starts to break out. And if it can make that run to 74, this high right here, 74.15 is in play, but right now 72.50s is also in play on pullback. So the 15-minute has that 72.50 pullback. 90 MA, I'm looking for that to hold right now in the 15, which is around the 73, and then it needs to get back there towards 73.50s. We'll see if it's able to hold here. Bum, bum, bum. Could come that towards like this 78. Holding in right now. We'll look to see what happens here. NUZ now down towards $3.12, so that's not looking good, but Tesla is bouncing a little bit. Run is coming back on me a little bit. So all those names that were kind of really hot now starting to pull back a little bit, just keeping in mind, right? The risk to return. Just got that ad there in Run. Now I just want to know where my out is on the downside. and still got a nice entry here in run. So I could still give myself a good little room here towards like 1705. So now I have here 160, looking to maybe add if it starts to come back here towards 1770s, but it is on the downturn right now, so I'm not adding right now. Just giving myself some room right now, and not a bad entry right now. We're trying to stay in the battle here because you can get an undercut and then a rally through that. That's what I'm watching for. NEE right off of close to my entry here on the 82s. DRMA at the $4, pulled back to the 350s. Now trying to come back here for that 5. We'll look to see what happens on that one. SPY overall still heading down, man, and just down, 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 down. This is one of those days where it's on the bid down and really just taking a big beating. What's on the downside? Well, of course, energy, communication services, even defensive names getting hit. That's what you don't expect there. The utilities are in the red. I'm looking to see if this can bounce back. I had a nice start. That's why NEE is like right back down. Let's see if this can get right back up. NEE right near my stop here. So I got to give it a little bit more room because it looks like they're trying to trigger me at the 70s. I'm going towards the 66 where there's another 1,000 shares. There it goes, guys. It came and got me. They came and got me. Had it out there. They came and got me there, guys. Down 34 on that, but I feel like this could still come back on the day. I'm going to keep a watch on Nextera. Man, it was looking great when we broke the 60s there. Was up, what, 40, 60 cents there? So I gave up a little bit there, and I feel like I just got stop hunted right there. So I'm just going to watch this to see if it comes back through 73s. And look at the volume fill right there. So there's some volume filling in right there. I'm going to look to see if this can swing back. But, man, that was a tough one. It just felt like I just got stop hunted. I left it out there. And sometimes when you're watching it, it's probably best to just go at it in the manual way, right? And so by putting it out there, I feel like I just got hunted. Watching this run to see what happens here, but definitely last position I'm in right now. I'm going to be watching it here to see what happens, to see if we start to get a bounce back in the market. But overall, it's just been an ugly red day and not too many patterns out there because a lot of the action happened in the pre-market, which is tough. Runny, run. Got 160 there. It's holding in right now. Could do like kind of an undercut and rally here. Starting to try to come back for that 1750s. Going to take a look at ENPH, which is up a good amount, and so is First Solar. So if these could bounce, it makes sense for run to kind of get that next push. Let's see what happens on this. Run looking good on the 15-minute, holding the 9. The 9 is the 38 level, so that's kind of be the level where, you know, I'm riding out that level. So at least I feel like we have a good outlook here. Just we'll see how it plays out, right? That's what matters. Bouncing off the VWAP. We'll see what happens on that one. Shorted RGC. There you go. Taking that money. All right, that DRMA, I can take a look at that. Just got hit hard on that DRMA, back down towards 311. So big hit there, guys. That thing turned down fast. It's another one that's showing up, BBLG. That's heading right back down too. A lot of the penny names not holding in their move there. How's Clean Spark? Clean Spark came back to 1705, then bounced there. Still looking for another takedown. So later in the day, I'd look for a Clean Spark to recover. I'll look to see what happens. How'd Cat recover yet? Nope. Still down on the day. All right. Run. What you going to do for me? Looking at First Solar right now. This is a big level here for it. All right, looking for this to start pushing in the 1750s here. Got to get back to VWAP. 1765s are where I will take an ad, guys. So I'm trying to be slow right now. And then once I see the rip, come right back, then take the shot. See if we can get this nice break back towards like 1770s, 1765s. Then I can go ahead and just take a swing. Sizing up here will just give me a little bit more risk for a quick downturn and stop out, right? So I'm willing to step up, but I have to step up at the right spot there. I'll step up another 200 shares if it starts to break that 1765s and looking like it wants to go. And 1761. Could still pull back right here. So just trying to be patient. Trying to watch this trade start to really make the move. Remember, up to the top is like a nice dollar. So keep that in mind when you're trading a name like this. Still haven't seen that 65 push. So this is kind of like that test right now. See, it failed right there. 62s. Looking for that quick sweep back. It goes to like 1770s. Then I'd look for like 65s on the pullback. All right, guys, what's up out there, guys? Get your swing on Tesla. Oh man, Tesla. I jumped on it a little too early when I was trying to take that bad boy down, but it's down, man. It's down big. Bouncing a little bit, but we'll see what happens. There's the 65s. I think it showed up. 64 showed up. Looking for 65s to get taken here. Still 64 on the offer. All right, starting to get that lift. There's 65s. Now I want to see just a slight push to 70s. There's 67s. 70s looking good here. When it hits 70s, there it goes. Now looking for that 65 pullback. Here's a pullback to 62, just added there, guys. I'm taking my shot here now. Got about 360 shares through the VWAP, 770s. I could step up again. So now I'm towards 1752s to keep that in mind, right? So my average moves up as I've been sizing in. Now, next layer to look for is a takeout of these 5-minute highs, which is the 1778 and 1779. So run to like 18, right? That's what I'm really looking for now. Don't need to go crazy in sizing. Can stay with this sizing. If it makes the run, it'll give me a nice gain. Man, what a day, guys. It's been a little bit of a mixed noise out there, and we're looking around to see what's going on. Visa coming back here. Citigroup down big. That's one that I should have stayed on the short. That was on yesterday's playbook. Starting to get hit again. It's financials. KRE, where's that one at? Is that coming back for me? Come on, KRE. Come back to give me some fills. I want to get short the regional banks. That's for sure. That's also a swing trade outlook on that KRE. See what happens. How's PNC? That's one that could short on the kind of the banks itself, the regional banks. Doesn't look too bad. Was up there, was down there towards 178. Could come back to 179.25 and get short on that. So I'm looking at KRE to see if it bounces there. Run bouncing a little bit. Now starting to take the step. Let's go. Let's go. All right, there's 1765s on run. Looking like it's starting to make the move here. Might add another 100 shares if it starts to break here, but looking pretty good here. Just don't want to ruin my average, right? So the key is to keep the average far from the VWAP and look at the VWAP get reclaimed. All right, will this make the run into the 18s today? Has a lot of resistance into that 18. We got to 1825, but if we could break out above that 1825, I can look at the flag action. I can say about what, $3 from this. Hey, what would be $3? It'd be closer towards the 20s. That's what makes sense for me. So I'm hanging in there and run, just looking to see if this can make the move. NEE, definitely going to keep watch that and look at NEE, man. That thing got me so stop hunted on that. Oh man, that's frustrating. It went to 62. It's back to 73.40s, guys. It went straight right back up. And so that just tells me more and more the 15-minute chart is what's trading well on this. So now I can either go for a scalp at 73.50s or look for pullbacks to 73.10s, but not a bad trade there. I think it was a bad management on my part. So I'll review the trade afterwards. But like always, I like to catch that. I feel like I just didn't trade that the best. But did I have a good entry? Yes. Good ads? Yes. Just didn't hold to my original risk. And a lot of times once I get up to a certain amount, I just don't want to hold to that original risk because at that point, the green was available to me. And I just didn't take it. All right, just going to keep watching run to see if I can run into the profits here. All right, big spot here, guys. Big spot. Let's go. 5 minute just did a nice little pullback. Now I want to see 1770s, 1780s. And let's rock and roll and run. All right, looking good here. Looking good for the push. Let's start to see if this can push through the 1770s and then a quick move to the 1790s. All right, run. Trying to hold there, trying to make the run, but still hasn't gotten really going here. We'll see if it really starts to push. There's 1771s. Here's the attempt for the breakout. Let's see if we can get it. See if we can get this breakout run. $15-minute chart. Looking good. Just needs to start making that way back. First level to watch for is the 1780s. All right, time to look around, guys. Time to look around. PRS. What's up with that one? Back down to the 14 on that one. 15 minutes out there. This one's holding in on a pullback there. Has had a couple of drives. The only thing with this one is you got to be careful because it's about 50 cents on the risk side. But can this one recover? Yes, it could. It's a tougher one to trade, that's for sure. PRRS. This was a crazy move here. But it has the bottoming on the chart right now. Question is, will it flip back? Not seeing much out there right now, guys. A little bit of a slowdown now in the market. these kind of penny names today just gave up, man. They're not holding in at all. That's why it's hard to come after one of these smaller names right now. Looking around at what else is moving out there. NAAS, not doing too bad on the day. NAAS. Of course, that's one that I've traded also. Starting to come back on the day. So there's one that maybe can get a little bit of some momentum. This is starting to come back on the day. You can see it's had a couple of attempts to go through that 720s. Flex. Having a decent day there. What's going on out there, chat? How we doing? It's what, almost 10:30. We'll take a look at some of the hourly levels, to take a look at some of the large caps to see if we can jump onto some of these, but definitely not a bad day overall. Just battling here, guys. Had a couple of names that was up like 100, and then the cat is really where it kind of hit me. Cat trying to come back. We'll see if it comes back on the day. NEE, still kind of chomping around here on NEE. So it's doing that last pullback here towards the VWAP. Doesn't look too bad there to maybe take a shot there. But hey, I would be taking a reshot on a name that I already got some. So let me see if it can kind of hold in here, and then I can take the shot right back up. Not doing too bad, but starting to break down a little bit there. Looking to see if it can hold in on the 15-minute, hold like a 72.90s, and then start to make the move back up. But the 15-minute candle could break and start to turn a red candle. Run doing well, but just hanging in there. First Solar starting to struggle a little bit, so that's a little bit concerning for Run. NEE just hanging in on the 73. We might come back to the 72.50s first and then start making the move on Nextera. So just kind of keeping that in mind. Going to Run here. Run's trying, but it might run into a wall here. KRE, where you at? Ooh, KRE's coming back here, guys. Just got my first fill in KRE. KRE. Coming back here. Got my first entry. Only about 20 shares, though. I want to size into this. They could pop and then eventually come back down in the day, so. All right, let's see if this can start to come back up. Run, quick move there. That's actually a good look on First Solar, getting a nice little lift there. So I'm going to take the shot here and Run. All right, guys, just added a little bit there and Run. Now towards 1757 here. And really need to start seeing this kind of work now. Going towards the 18, starting to break out. Then I'll have a really good position with large size. Or at least decent sizing. Crowdstrike going down through that level that we talked about. This is that level that I think we could eventually turn around from. So there's Crowdstrike back down on the hourly. Could do a wick down here and then start to come back on the day. Just something I'm thinking about. Definitely catching a falling knife, but I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one looking at that level. We'll see what happens there on Crowdstrike. If it's able to bottom out here. NEE went down to that 85, still holding in there. 15-minute doesn't look too bad. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Could get another downturn towards the 72.80s, but this one could take off now towards the 74s. It's about 20-30 cent risk here for about 90 cents on the plus side. Here's Run now starting to make that move. We're looking better on that. Now I just need this to start taking off into the 18s. If it does that, I'll be up a pretty substantial amount, can put myself back into the green on the day. Let's see if that happens here. NEE still battling there. I'm still looking at NEE because I still don't think it's a bad look right here. First Solar getting a little bit more support, so that's actually looking pretty decent there. All right, still looking good here on the hourly here for NEE. It's going to be that last dip that I look to start seeing come in on here on NEE and then start to see it come back. So there's that dip. As it starts to come back, that's when I want to take the shot. Want to get back into it. Doesn't look bad for me. Run looking interesting now. 1780 starting to show up. 85s. Let's let this start to really work. Looking for that push through the 18s. KRE still looking to get some more fills in that. All right, I'm going to get one more fill here. Or at least try to. There we go. Trying to work it up here in KRE. Hourly level could come right back up here, so got to keep that in mind. At some point, I'm expecting this to break down. So it could come up for another fourth attempt towards 58.28, and I got to keep that in mind. So what do I got to do? I got to stay small early, then eventually get big. Next ad will be at 58s. So then I'll start adding at the top there. That's what I'm looking at. All right, there's Run, guys, towards the 1790s, almost towards that 18. Let's see if it can get up there. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, 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 run. Let's get it going. Let's go. Crowdstrike is evil. Riot just acquired Block Mining. Oh, man. That's going to shake up the market there. Riot trying to start coming up on that action. But it's the acquirer. So normally it's the other one that kind of gets the move. Block Mining. What's Block Mining? Block Mining. Is that a green stock or is that a pink stock? I don't know, man. Clean Spark. How's that doing off of that? All right, getting that little recovery off the 1750s. It's starting to work back. Look to see if Mara can get the lift there. Mara 22.10s. Okay, Mara's holding in. Nice support on that on the hourly. So we talked about hourly, and we're talking mainly for like big cap strategy on the S&P 500. But look how the hourly holds in here. Those are levels that you can look at. Tesla. Let's take a look at the hourly now on Tesla. So hourly levels are kind of holding in off of that kind of bottoming action off 216. Let's go to the 15-minute. You can see how you've gone through 216, but what, 2 times? I'd look for the 3rd time to kind of start to hold there and then eventually start to come back. So it's still on the fade right now, but we'll see what happens. Run ran into the wall there, guys, at the 1790s. Could not get towards the 18. So looking for the VWAP to hold here is 1765s, but it definitely ran into a little bit of a wall there. NEE did do that cut down, now trying to recover that 73s. We'll look to see if it recovers that 73s. I might take another shot at NEE right now. All right, guys, don't want to get too big too quickly as I've been trying to practice that, but I'm looking at right now for NEE to grab it about 100 shares. All right, just grabbed it at 73s there, guys. Didn't want to kind of hesitate there. 73.02s on the first pullbacks towards 72.90s or 72.80s. I'll add another 100 shares. I'm looking for this to get back through the 73.50s. Of course, I got a stop out earlier on this, but it was a small one, about $25. Now I'm really trying to step up there and risk here and see what I get out of Nextera. AMD might be coming back. We'll take a look at that. Cost bouncing hard. Yeah, cost is one that had a good levels to look at, guys. Okay, that's one that I'll take a look at there. Appreciate the alert. Let's go looking at costs. 950s on the pullbacks to 940s is what makes sense for me there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this. If I do, it would be slow. 950s. 940. I'll do 935s to try to keep it slower, right? Then down towards like maybe 930. I have some orders out to fill on pullbacks here. Looking for a slight dip towards the 950s. Have some good orders out there, guys. It will be like 200 shares on this cost. So trying to get some pullbacks to get filled here on cost and then take the swing. It could get back through 10. That's an outlook towards the upside. Could look for, you know, to jump up at 960s, but I'm looking for a slight undercut of the 9 and then a recovery. We talked about 9 EMA yesterday. So it might step up here at least at the 60s just to get the first entry, but I'm looking for in the 50s here. I'm going to put in 55 just to see if I can get that pullback towards slightly underneath here. I'll pull the second ad at 45 and 38. So trying to get that starter here. All right, it's holding that 960 a little too well here. So I'm looking to go ahead and try to get a little bit into this just to get the starter on there. It's not going to give me anything if this just runs, but I want to get the smallest piece right now, the smallest little piece. Boom. Just grabbed it a little bit there, 100 shares. Not 100 shares, 10 shares. What am I saying? 10 shares just to get the starter. Now I'm really looking to get the fills on the pullbacks. No fill back at 55, so I'm going down towards 50 here. There's 60 starting to show up there. You see the bid, it's at 50s here now. So now I can go ahead and even look for like bigger ads at 940s, 938s, 935s, but one order at 951. So I'm trying to level in here. I'll show you guys it as I do it. I know that I've been talking about this all day, so let's talk about it and show you guys it. The ladder right here, approach. Got a couple trades on, so I got to keep that in mind. But here you guys have it. Look at costs here. Looking to try to get some in there at 951. Then the orders to really add are down here at the 940s and 935s. Now I got 60 shares. Could add some more here. Looking for this to start coming right back up. Doesn't look too bad. The spread is pretty wide there. That's the only thing you got to be a little bit careful of here. So I'm going to put 45 for the next order. Of course, these are 50 shares orders. All right, I can maybe tighten it down there towards the 940s. Give myself a little bit more here in the spread. You can see it's about 10 cents. So I'm on the bid and slightly below the bid. There we go. This 924, I don't really even want it to fill. I'm just giving it out there just to give a little bid support. We'll see what happens here. Run. And that one, keep holding on, guys. It's not making that breakout move, but I'm trying to be patient with it. The big thing is First Solar is also a leader that I need to see continue strong. It rejected that 228 move, so that's where it gets a little bit difficult here and might need to just run towards the profits because you might get a quick little pullback here. And there it is, guys. There's a little bit of a pullback. Little part of me trying to hang on and not just take the money and run, but I see First Solar also heading down here. I'm going to have to take this money and run. All right, guys, I just took the money, guys. I just took it back there, $53. Really nothing on run. Could keep going. Could have let it test my break-even spot, but when I start to let it test break-even on that, and And I see First Solar trying to break down. It's kind of hard to hang in there. So First Solar really causing me to get out there. And that's the leader, right? So if the leader is heading down that fast, I want to be a little bit careful. 228 in recovery, and yeah, runs right back up. So hey, that's how it is sometimes. We'll see what happens out there. KRE kind of hanging out in the 5760s. This could break down a little bit further. Still got the trades to add on that. Let's go back to costs here. Cost still holding in there, 955s now, coming right back up here. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here, guys. I'm going to add on that. Just got one more add there on cost. Willing to add at 940s now, or maybe even slightly below, let's say 935s, but looking for this to start to take off here. Got about 160 in cost. Let's go to NEE. Looking around, guys. Now this is starting to get back above the 73s, looking good. It just kind of did a little bit of a 73 pullback here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start stepping up to the plate here in NEE. Feel like I can make that 74 run now. There's that buy. I just bought into that. Looking for the breakout now above the 73.50s, going into the 74s. Let's see if this can really start to push here. Make me some money, man. I'm trying. I'm stepping up here. I'm trying. Slight dip there in cost back towards the 948s. Could go for like maybe a 40 kind of add here and then just hold towards the 30s. Doesn't seem too bad there. I'll put out the 940s here. Let's see if we get that add, or does it just take off back through 10? Pull back there on NEE. 15-minute chart still holding in there. Got to hold off the support off the 15-minute. That's going to be towards like the 72.60s. Looking for this to really take the 73, 74, and then it could really actually get running there. So let's see if this gets to move today. Cost getting back into the green. Let's see if this wants to run, guys. Taking the shot there in cost on the pullbacks. Now it's up there to the 68s. Could just start to push here. So I got another add that I can do at 51, which is my average. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there at 53. So any pullback towards that 53, but the spread is wide. So with that spread being that wide, I got to put it on the bid. So 940 is where I put it here versus putting it up there because of the bid. So we'll see what happens out there, guys. Smash the like. It's 10:42. Been focusing on the trade, trying to catch you guys in the chat a little bit there. Volume on cost. We'll see if it starts to wake up, man. This is one that I'm just looking out there. Money Mitch, you looking for food? Yes, I am looking for food. I am hungry, man. Where's the food out there? Becca, what's up out there, guys? I'm always looking for food. All right, what's up out there, guys? I'm hungry. I think they're punishing Elon for saying that he's going to donate $45 million to Trump every month. Yeah, Trump is, and Elon, Elon's trying to get himself into trouble, man. But Elon doesn't care. That's the thing. He has so much money. Dude, he just doesn't care. Like when you have that much money, you don't really need to care, really. You can say whatever you want, right? Like, let's just be honest. Some of us that don't have that type of money, we might want to keep our mouth a little closed. But when you got that type of money, Elon's just going to keep talking, man. Costy Costs. You want to wake up for me, man? Let's see it. Let's see if you want to wake up. Man, the kind of the penny names just not moving today, man. BE did a nice little 15-minute pullback and now starting to come back up. Not a bad move there. NEE still just hanging out, man. There's so much chopping today. It's just choppy chop. Feel like I'm at freaking Pollo Tropical over here. I didn't ask for the chop chop. All right, guys, what are you guys seeing out there? It's kind of slowing down there. Now I'm seeing Nextera start to make a little bit of a lift there. Can that kind of push back, really get through that 73.50s? That's what I kind of need to see there. 73.30s now pushing. This is why sometimes it's very hard to get back into a trade. I'll tell you guys, it was hard for me to get back into this trade. Now I'm just going to watch to see if it can lead here, really kind of break above the 73.50s is really what I need to see here. So if I do a trend line or something like that, I can do right off of here. So you can see how it could pull back to the 73.20s, but want to see that hold, really take 73.80, 74, really start to push here on NEE. What happened on run? Did we get that pullback there? Just hanging on there right off the support, but could still take the next step up there through the 18. Wasn't a bad trade, just didn't really break out. And that happens sometimes, right? You can't be worried about that. Bid up there towards 45 now on cost. So I'm going to probably take my shot here in just a second here as it starts to decline here. I'm looking for a slight little dip here to add one more time and then really take the shot. But there it goes right back towards the 54s. Will it take the move? Let's see it here. Got the move available to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stop ad, right? So stop ads, of course, are going to trigger kind of a market ad, but I don't mind stepping up if it takes the breakout move. Breakout move for me now would be like a move there towards 980s and 10s. So 970s where I'm going to look to get another ad here. And I'll do 100 shares there for a stop ad if it gets there. If it doesn't get there, I can just stop out on this name down there towards like 940s, 930s. So giving myself the ability for the bigger win. That's what I've been trying to do and setting myself up for success. And that's what's actually helped me all week, right? So all week I've been green because a lot of the times I'm setting myself up for a bigger trade. And then I finally get one trade, boom, I'm green and I end the day. I got no problem with that, man. Gonna keep battling. We'll see what happens out there. All right, guys, I see still about 70 of you guys tuning in. So smash the like. We got a lot to talk about. We'll take a second here to take a look into the Olympics in just a second, guys. It's 10:47. Going to wrap it up at 11 here. Just need to see some of these stocks make the move here. Nextera now starting to get the lift there. Just needs to take out the 73, 40s, 50s. There's so much overhead supply that keeps running into there. It's something definitely that I'm watching for. All right, there is one stock that's going down here right now, guys, that is still having me on a heart attack out there, guys. So smash the like out there for that. We'll talk a little bit about that, why I might be having a heart attack out there, but I'm just keep watching it, man, and looking for the bigger win today. I'll let you guys know, of course, if I get that bigger win. It's really hard. I feel like other traders are even watching me on this one. So we'll see what happens there in Surve. What's up with cost here on the pullback now? Back towards the 45. We'll see if this actually starts to make the move here. Just got to get ready to stop out if I need to here on costs. So always protection first, right? That's what you want to be worrying about. Then I can worry about the gains. Gains are looking good there in Nextera, but just need to see that take off there. Ready to get out on this if I need to. Costs. All right, guys, looks like there's someone else that wants to join the party out there. And don't forget, guys, like always, we always have the ability for you guys out there to join the party, right? You out there, you traders, if you guys ever want to come onto the show, reach out to us, right? There's plenty of ways that you yourself can be on the show here, talking about some trades, some maybe it's an overnight swing that you took and it's looking great. And you want to talk about why you took the trade. Hey, I got no problem, guys. Don't forget that the door is open for you guys. Let's go ahead and bring on my man Tim here, as the door is always open to Tim. What's up out there, Tim?
Hey, Mitch. Yeah, wow. It's that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the catalyst or catalysts for this action this week is. But yeah, well, it's interesting.
I think it all comes back to Trump's comments, Tim, about Taiwan Semiconductor. So the one thing that people weren't really thinking about, right? So a lot of times traders are thinking, right? They were interest rate focused, right? Everyone was focused about interest rates, like, oh, September they're going to cut. So what were kind of like the money managers saying on, let's say, CNBC, on Bloomberg, on all the media? They were talking about how the cut would give this bull run that next leg, right? So there was a lot of traders thinking, okay, well, tech is going to get that next leg. It's going to keep running. And then Trump came in with the comments of what? Well, saying that pretty much Taiwan would have to pay us to protect them. And everyone's already kind of weighing in that Trump's going to win this presidency. So if that's the truth, if that's going to be his stance to Taiwan, what could happen here? War from China to Taiwan. Because if China knows that we're not going to protect Taiwan, well, then clearly China will say, well, okay, Trump, we'll work something out with you guys on the trade action. Just let us do our thing in Taiwan. And what would happen to these semiconductors? Kapow, 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 kapow. So at this point, that story that was super hot, that was the focus because of AI, right? AI was the hype word. That hype word is slowly dying. I do see it shifting towards robotics and autonomous. So those are plays that you guys can keep in mind. But I think this is the story of AI slowly becoming a commodity here and just a feature that's thrown out there and not really making money. NVIDIA is really the one making money because why? It's the underlying asset behind AI, right? Those are things that you need to make AI, not necessarily that the AI is making money. So I think that we're running into that. A lot of times we get story stocks that start to die out. So just be careful out there, guys. I feel like the story stocks are starting to die here, and we got to be careful with names like that. NVIDIA even could fall into this. So if I had to put it to something, Tim,
I worry that it's I mean, I feel like if anything, it's more of a. I've been feeling for a while that we're looking at like sort of the momentum. Once the momentum of this latest push would be out, we could see a lot of trimming. But I don't know if there's anything new. I mean, right? Like Trump's known to be fairly isolationist. Not isolationist exactly, but well, what's his term? America first, right?
Yes.
America
first. That's exactly
pay for it if you want help. Pay for it. And, at the same time, I think if industry, I would expect the expectation would be if American industry depends on that I don't know. I'm just, I think he would then be more flexible is my read on it, but who knows? But, it feels like, it's not just, right? Like, NVIDIA, AMD, TSM, right? All actually, gap down a bit, but it feels like it's a move overall, other than small caps, right? So that's what's interesting, right? The Russell is like the clear outlier on these indices, but then individual names, like I tell you what, I guessed exactly wrong, long and short this morning. So
all right,
I did well on my swing overnight.
I'll throw you up at least so you can show us a little bit of the charts you're looking at, Tim. What are you seeing out there that's worrying you?
No, I mean, this is just my normal overview, just my personal names. I mean, all these gray rectangles are gaps, right? So see all these gap downs. And then we see a lot of curving down as well today, right? Like just this sharp right shoulder off the open. But the big outlier on the indices is the Russell, and then a little bit less the Dow index. But it's not just like look at this, what do you make of this divergence in these? What do you call them? Discount retailers or whatever, where you got Target and Dollar Tree down, Walmart still going up, right? Financials a few of the financials seem to have some strength, but go ahead.
Yeah, discount stores. We can take a look at that. Right now, I'm looking at maybe potentially a scalp on run for the 18 push, and it's available to you there. I think the biggest thing is for solar is still right off the support. So that's going to be your leading stock there. But run is trying to play a little bit of catch up, of course, on our playbook this morning. I'll look to see if it makes that 18 breakout. Of course, I got stopped out on the recent action, took some gains there, but gave up a little bit of this action. We'll look to see if it breaks through that 18. Look at NEE now starting to make the move, 1770s. So feeling good about that one. Going to let that one continue to work. Costs, I have the stop set there right below 930s. We'll look to see what happens there if for any reason that moves. But let's go put this back and let's take a look at what you're talking about, Tim. So a lot of times I talk about sectors and industries all the time, right? So let's go over, let's take a look at it and see what we're looking at right now, right? So if we look into different areas, that's where you want to be looking at. So if I look at the discount stores, that's going to fall in your consumer defensives, right? And you can see it here. This has just been falling off the table.
Well, are they? I think of consumer defensive as more like Colgate, Palmolive, like
they all
those
fall
kind
in
of
there
things, right?
because the
Really?
truth is that it depends on how you want to do it, right? How you want to make
Yeah.
indexes. But I'll put this a little bit bigger so that we can see what they have on there. So they have beverages,
I don't think
farm
yours is
products.
actually up. It's just got my index
Oh,
view up
sorry about
here.
that. I'm here looking at it, but not have it up there. Appreciate you checking
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Tim. All right, so here
That's
you guys see it on the right-hand side, right? And so you see beverages, farm products, households, packaged foods, confectioners, tobacco, grocery stores, beverages, the brewers, the food distribution, and discount stores. What falls under discount stores? They have Walmart, Costco, Target, BJ, Dollar General, Ollie, right? And so all these kind of fall underneath one industry there. So I would still consider them as a defensive area because a lot of times, like when the market is doing bad, let's say it's in a bear market environment, that's usually when Walmart actually does pretty decent. Because the reason is, we think about it, if it's a bad environment, the consumer is going to be looking for discounted goods. And where are they going to probably be shopping? Well, they're probably shopping at Walmart versus their Publix, right? Or a higher brand, right? Their Whole Foods. No, they throw Whole Foods to the side and they go shopping right back to Walmart. So that's one way to think about it, Tim. So I think at this point, this is an area that has just been staying strong in the top names, which is Costco, which is Walmart, right? Those are the top names in your cap, right? You got Walmart and Costco as being your top name. Then Target's the one that's been on the struggle. And when will this turn around? Honestly, it's more of a matter of long term for Target and what they're planning to do, right? Because there's two things that
they've been overhauling a bunch of stuff, right? Remodels, the Circle Plus.
Yes.
So
trying to bring AI into it, Tim. They're trying to rejuvenate the stock, right? Rejuvenate is the word, right? They brought it down with their situation and the whole Pride situation. We're not going to go into that, but the truth is, they brought it down, right? They got to bring it back. In this case, they got to do things to assure investors that they're going to figure it out. The biggest thing is, we still don't look at Target as a grocery store. We look at it as a department store almost. Like it's like, you go there for electronics, or like you're in kind of the home good departments, right? At Target. That's what needs to change. If Target could become,
and they're in that tough area too,
store,
where they could have that, but their stuff, the perception is at least that it's a little bit higher price bracket than, for example, the Walmart would have. So
exactly, that's where it gets hard because they don't battle enough with their kind of suppliers to get these prices down enough, but they're also trying to make more on the groceries, right? The margins are probably higher than you're getting at Walmart, right? So it's that.
That was really surprised. What was the earnings late last year, right? Like the headlines are all the culture war stuff, but I think their balance sheets, there was a lot of feeling that they had a lot of debt, a lot of inventory, and they surprised everyone with how much inventory they were able to move. So
yeah, AI is going to help bring that inventory down for all stores, right? Like we all understand that. Like even I'm seeing it when I go to the stores myself. So like I went to and it was Target, and all the TVs, they were out of stock. They had displays, but they were out of stock on all the TVs. Why? Well, they only want to order. It was
like just-in-time inventory. You mean it was like very lean?
That's exactly what they're trying to do, Tim. They're trying to be as lean as possible. As lean as
Everyone
possible.
really wants to do the dynamic pricing too. I mean, there's a lot of public perception challenges with that. But if they can convince everyone they're adding discounts rather than bumping the price up, I think that's the perception battle. But if they can do that, that'll be a boon to move a lot of those things.
And that's a big battle there, right? And then Costco is in the big battle also. They tried to step up to the plate and now are charging more, right? I mean, things like that.
Not for the hot dog, though.
Not for the hot dog, though. No, they get you still in for the hot dog. And trust me, those hot dogs are good. I can't blame them. It's like I go to Sam's sometimes and I get a pizza, man. I have to get the pizza. But you know how it is, right? These stores have the little thing. The one that doesn't have it is BJ. And then there's a reason why, man. It's like, come on, man. Give me something at BJ to go in there. But hey, we'll see what happens.
You know what? I will say one thing real quick. I know we're wrapping up, but it did occur to me. Is the one common thing you hear, right? Is that you'll see Muddy at sort of the last gasp, exhaustion gap up or what have you, you'll see money flow into these more speculative things, right? And I guess that's the idea of retail buying the top or whatever. But the Costco thing, even like crypto actually has been, I don't know if that was off of the Ethereum ETF, right? And there's a little more selling in Ether as we'd expect off of that news.
Yeah.
But also I was noticing, I don't know if it was crypto in general pulling it up, but like there's literally like a meme coin. It's called Costco hot dog token, right? And the joke is it would be worth $1.50. The joke, right? Not financial advice, but that was even popping, right? Like, so it seems like money's just, same with small, right? So I wonder if it's just the last gasp of bull energy, but the smart money is leaving the market. I don't know. That's the feeling I get. I don't know if I don't think it's tied necessarily to any news other than potentially inflation catching up, but
yeah, it does happen. I'm looking at that Ethereum. I have a friend that was, I had to laugh when he posted this because he was talking about, your coins, right?
Oh, no.
And one of the things that
you just want an excuse to use the bleep.
Yeah, you know it, Tim. But, one of the things that I was looking at in this comment, I felt it was so right. He was like, these coins are trying to act like they have utility. What are you talking about? That's what they're supposed to not have. That's why they're coins, right? I mean, it's because they're not supposed to have utility. It's a
liability if they have utility, right? Like,
yeah, exactly, Tim. So then, like, he was like bashing on one of them because he was like, "What are you trying to do, man? You're doing the whole wrong game. The whole point is this supposed to be a joke, and then you make money."
You can't be. Hey, regulatory. You can't be a security if not only do you not promise gain, like you promise nothing. Right? It's like, what is the point? I don't know. You should buy it. Like,
I promise absolutely nothing, team. So. Hey guys, I just got a little stop hunt there on cost though, but I do feel like it could still make a move, guys. So I'm still looking at it here, guys. I still think I'm seeing some volume kind of line in here. If you do see that spike in cost a little later today, you guys know why. I could come back after it. The only reason I'm not is because NEE is still working so well for me. So at that point, I just got to let NEE try to make me the gain on the day, right? So a lot of times for me in the trading action, right, especially lately, there's been one stock that's made me the gain. I'm getting stopped out. I'm getting stopped out because some continuations are not happening. But once I finally get that stock that's making that move, I try to hang on to that and make my money. And I've been doing that daily, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, let's see if Wednesday actually gets it to the green, right? I'm down 141. Stay tuned, guys. I'll post it on my Twitter so you guys can see the gain later. For right now, I'm up about 135. So NEE makes that swing through 74. I can take majority of the profits out, get myself maybe slightly red, and still let that one try to work to get me into the green good, right? Let's say like 100 or 200 up. So that's what I've been trying to do more and more of, guys. We'll see what happens. And like I always talk about, there ain't a show out here showing you this right here, guys. Look at that. I show it every day, right? And I think that's an important thing. I lost some on CAT today, guys. Was looking for that to continue on the upside. Didn't get the action there. Took some money and run. Run is still looking like it could still break 18 and continued the run, right? I was adding down at 1740s and 1745s. It's looking great still. And then still took a hit there in NEE, but got back in it. Sometimes you got to get back into the name. It's okay to cut out for a small risk, then look to get back into the name and take multiple trades. That's the way I've been trying to go at it. And Tim, we've been talking about habits and improving habits, right? So I've been talking about how I want to try to find one bad habit in my trading and make it a good habit. The bad habit has been sizing in too quickly, too big. So now I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to size in still, but very, very small. And then once it starts to really swing in my direction, take that swing for the big win, right? And so that's what I've been trying to work on this week. Let's think about it in your case. I know that I'm putting you a little bit on the spot here, Tim, but what is a habit that maybe you can improve on that you might feel is a bad habit and you want to make it a good one?
Oh, I can tell you right off the bat. I mean, that's like, that's what's the, going back to the election, what's the many such cases, right? Like on the size too big, too early, right? Like a lot of, there is some impulsiveness I have. It's more if I have like a play that I was already doing and I'm looking to re-enter or I've got a bias. but I don't mind going in and then giving up. So I went in pretty big when I thought we were getting. I think if we get a bottom, we're gonna kind of rip today. So took some hits this morning on ARM. I'm trying again now. The thing that gets me is not so much the scaling in as when I keep retrying over and over. Like I close it and then I try re-entering and close it, re-enter, and I just keep beating my head against the wall. So if this second try doesn't work, I'm going in with size, but I'm going to cut it if it doesn't and just move on to something else, because that's where it usually gets me, is like just beating my head against the wall throughout the day.
Love it, Tim. And like what I've been telling our traders out there, right, is that at the end of the day, a lot of times when you come to this decision, right, you think about a goal and an outcome, right? So like for me, it's okay, I don't want this to happen. But what really matters is how do we adjust our system and process to get to that change, right? Because that's what's going to make a change, right? We all just want green. Then some of us actually start working on the process and system to get to that green out there. So traders out there, that's why I talk about this, because the truth is we all want for success for you guys out there here at Trade the Pool. But the truth is you got to do the hard work, man. We can be here every single day trading with you guys, showing you guys the process approach, teaching you guys that we got to make improvements, right? But at the end of the day, it's up to you guys. So I hope you guys are learning from this stream and really getting something out of it. Not just the trading, not just the playbook, not just the sunrise, not just Tim in the Discord helping you guys out daily, but all of us here trying to support you guys. So have a great day, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Tim, thanks for dropping by like always, my friend. Always love chatting with you.
Great chat. Yeah.
And you guys, like always, can chat with Tim in the Discord and talk some stocks, right? You guys can talk about Target. You guys can talk about what you guys are seeing in different industries. The way that we were going back and forth. It's so important to have traders like that you guys can reach out to, kind of bounce ideas and make your own investment decisions. That's great. That's what trading is really all about. I'll be back tomorrow. Tim, thanks for like always, guys. And that's going to do it for us today. Keep battling out there, traders. It's not one way. The only way to do it is keep working on it. We'll see you back tomorrow.